Ekitongole kino kirina amasomero ga primary aga gavumenti 48 nga 20 of those in Southern Division and 28 of those are in the Northern Division. Era nga gombi galina omugaito gw'abaana emitwalo 3 na 934. Aga secondary tulina amasomero 10 aga gavumenti, omukaga gali mu Southern yana gali mu Northern, nga galina omugaito gw'abaana omutwalo mulala n'35 na 12. Twaba ni tertiary institution ya government mu Southern ndala erimu abaana 43. Tugezezaako okubalaga performance bwebaire over the years kuviira mu mwaka ogw'2024, 23, 2022 twagezaako obalaga abaana bwe baperforminga abafuna first grade, abafuna second grade, third grade, fourth grade. Twabalaga musobola okubona trend nga bwebaire over those years. Please take careful note of that. If you have issues, twabalaga performance masomero gaifa ga secondary again okuva mu mwaka gwa 2022 mu 2023 twabalaga performance ya masomero ago nga bwegabaire in terms of the number of students passing in division 1, 2, 3 and 4. Twabalaga ni totals d'abaana. So mwetegerezaawo nabawo issues that clarifications, we shall be more than happy to answer your queries, questions, clarifications. Projects that planning mu 2024-25 era dona tugezezaako dibalaga construction of a latrine Kizinga yawa, construction of seed school kuleirwe kumpi eringe weire bulamu buntu butono ino buti okugula ebyuma bikabwidhi n'ebyuma ebikozesebwa mu labu bya Uganda Railways byagulibwa, okuzimba akayu St. Mary's Nsuube kawa kazimbibwa, okuzimba akayu Walukuba East kona kazimbibwa, twasereka amasomero agali ku amabaati getweta asbestos agatakayikirizibwa. Twaboneka nti twafuna obuyambi okuva mu office ya Prime Minister, twatoola amabaati aga asbestos agali ku Main Street Narambayi ame boarding ni Walukuba East, era ogwo omulimu gwawa. Twazimba ennumba ey'abasomesa erukolo, eyo ekali kuwa phase 1. Tuli ku phase 1, omulimu ogwo gwali phased, gujjakolebwa olwa sente obutaba nti dali tidida mulundi mulala. Omulimu ogwo gwakutulibwamu nga gwiddakolebwa over a period of time. Twaliwo okwidaabiriza latrines ku Kyabirwa Primary School ni Wanyange Primary School, omulimu ogwo gwawa. Twalina okurenovating a classroom block Wakitaka, omulimu gwawa. Construction of a latrine Rwanda Primary School, ogwo gwakolebwa era gwawa. Tulina okurelocating oba okunooneza eitaka n'okuzimba ebibiina ebya Kimasa Primary School. Kimasa Primary School isomero lyaife eryali affected by standard gauge railway. So twaba n'obuvunanyizibwa okuba nti tunoonya site eyindi aganazimbibwa isomero lino olw'okubanga geribaire gajja kubitawo standard gauge railway. Process ey'okunoonya n'okugula eitaka eryo eri kujja mu maiso era enaatera tuli ku nkomerero ya process eyo era enaatera okuwa. Twaba n'okuzimba ekibiina Masese Seed School, guno omulimu gukatambula era gukajja mu maiso nga UPDF neritukolera omulimu ogwo. Tulina project eyindi ey'okuzimba ey'okwidaabiriza ekibiina eky'Omya Primary School, ogwo omulimu gwawa. Twaba n'okwidaabiriza ennumba ey'abasomesa ekyabiirwa Primary School, ogwo gwona omulimu gwakolebwa era gwawa. Twaba n'okwidaabiriza toilet ku Main Street Primary School, ogwo gwona omulimu gwakolebwa era gwawa. Twaba n'okuzimba latrine ku Kyomya Primary School, eyo nga project ya 2025-2026 n'omwaka gwe tulimu. Gino gikaali under procurement, aye ng'egyo giteekebwa okolebwa ng'omwaka gukaali kuwaaku omulimu. Okuzimba latrine ekyomya Primary School, okuzimba latrine Empumude Estate School, okumaliriza ennumba y'abasomesa erukolo muzirimu, okurinovatinga n'okwidaabiriza Mafubira Primary School, okwidaabiriza Main Street Primary School, okuzimba latrine ku Walukuba West, okuzimba latrine ku Biyala, okuzimba latrine mu Wanyange, okuzimba latrine Butiki Primary School, n'okuzimba ennumba y'abasomesa Nakanyonyi. Bino byona enteekateeka biri mu mwaka guno gwe tulimu gukaali kuwaaku. Omwaka guno guwaaku mu mwezi gwa Mukaaga. So bino enteekateeka eno enaatera okuwa era very soon mwida kubona ng'okuzimba kutandika. Birime nti kuzimbibwa ng'omwaka guno oguwaaku mu mwezi ogw'Omukaaga omwaka ogwo gukaali kutuuka. Ebiri teekebwateekebwa okolebwa mu mwaka ogwo oguyida gwe tuli kupulaninga ni bino. Tuteekateeka okuzimba ekyolooni eky'amaadhi ku Mpumire Methodist nga tukozesa ssente dhaife dhino ze tuli kweta local revenue. Tuliteekateeka okuzimba ennumba ey'abasomesa ku Kiira Primary School era nga tukozesa local revenue. Essente ze tusuubira okuspendinga tudibalaze. Latrine y'amaadhi edda kutwala obukaire 6, ennumba y'omusomesa edda kutwala obukaire 205, okwidaabiriza SDA somero lyaife eryo ery'aba SDA obukaire 83, okwidaabiriza Nakabango Primary School bukaire 10, okwidaabiriza PMM Wanyange bukaire 8 nga tukozesa grant school maintenance grant, okuzimba latrine ekyomya Primary School nga tukozesa SFG obukaire 35, okuzimba latrine Budondo Primary School gwida kumalawo obukaire 35. Latrine ze dona normally ditwala obukaire 35 kumpi eringa standard figure. So ku Victoria Nile Primary School, Kivubuka, Budondo bona basuubira okufuna latrines empyaka. Latrines zino demand yeyongeire olw'okuba nti amasomero ago n'abaana omuwendo gw'abaana gwona gweyongera. Muna oli kujja speed ino era yoko ino kabwidibwidi wange wa computer. Mpera ano ebimu ku bizibu department eno byefuni ne bino wamanga. Tukalina omulimo ogw'okubona nti amasomero gaffe gona tugata ku land titles okuziyiza abandazi b'eitaka okutwala eitaka ly'amasomero bino. Amasomero mangi already gani land titles era tukalina agaga kali kufuna. So omulimo guno guli kujja mu maiso era gw'omwebwamu omutwe office ya physical planner ne ya town clerk. Esente ediweebwa department eno okola emirimu egyo gyona gye muboine n'egindi egitalagibwa egiri recurrent era ntono kuuko okusinziira ku bwetaavu. so ekyo kyona kitataganyamu enkola yaibwe. Bakayenda infrastructure ebibiina, mayumba g'abasomesa, ebyolooni, obwetaavu bukaaliwo bunene kubanga omuwendo gw'abaana bweyongere buli lunaku. Tukaalina amasomero naddala ga secondary agakaali ku asbestos. Bana asbestos takayikirizibwa. So tukaalina omulimu omunene okubona nti tutoola asbestos, amabaati aga asbestos ku masomero ago tugateekwa amabaati aga buliido agataleetere bantu baife ndwaire. Amasomero gaife aga secondary agasinga gazira byuma bya kabwidibwidi ate ng'omulembe guno tulikoba nti abaana begeresebwe buli mwana ave mu isomero nga ibbi okozesa kompyuta. Amasomero gaife agasinga galina ekizibu ekyo nti gazira kompyuta lab edo mwe basobola kwegereza abaana bukugu obwo bwakumanya kompyuta. Tukalina amasomero mangi aga secondary agakeetaaga abasomesa. Kino nikire kye nabakobeere nti abasomesa bano tumala kufuna sente nabukakafu nti sente dhidha kubaawo me twasobola okungiza abasomesa abo. So mu masomero gaife mangi aga secondary mukalimu obwetaavu obw'abasomesa. Tukalina ekizibu nti tukazimba pit latrine mu masomero gaife ng'ate tuli mu kibuga twandibe emphasizinga byolooni by'amaadhi. Aye obuzibu obuliwo nti oluyise sente dhifunibwa tidimala kuzimba byolooni bya toilet by'amaadhi, toilet d'amaadhi. So tweyagana nga tukaali ku nkola ya pit latrine eboneka nti ate eyo eri wansi w'omutindo oguli expected mu city. So ekyo kyona challenge y'amaani mu department eyo. Tulina ekizibu nti abaana baife bangi masomero tibalya mmere. Omwana ave kataliire yasiiba ku isomero yairayo nga taliire ng'ate tumusuubira okuba mu kibiina asome ategeere bulungi aye ng'ate ali ndala. So ekyo kikaali kizibu era kiri ku affectinga performance mu masomero gaife. So tuteekwa okukinogera eddagala n'okisalira amagezi. Kikaali kizibu kinene ino mu masomero gaife. Tulina amasomero agali ku bizinga. Tulina ebizinga mu tawuni mu site muno kisima. Ebizinga ebyo twataawo eryato eritambuza abasawo abo n'abasomesa aye liboneka likairiike era ndowooza mu bimu byetaaga okulingibwamu n'okupulaningira n'okubona nti tufunayo eryato erindi eryaka erinasobola okutambuza abasomesa baife okubatwala n'okubatoola ku bizinga ebyo. Eisomero lya secondary tuli kuzimba mu Looko lye tuli kweta Uganda Literacy School linaatera okuwa kumpi liringa eririweire. Aye lirina ekizibu nti getutaateeku kisenge oba wall fence balwaninga risk ey'okubona nti ebikoleibwa byonoonebwa oba biba vandalized. So twetaaga tuplaninge tubone nti tutaaku ekisenge ku isomero eryo. Ekyo kikulu ino okubona nti ebizimbibwa bazimbi ebizimbe birungi ino. So kyetaaga tubone nti tutaaku ekisenge tusobole okukuuma obulungi ebizimbibwa mu isomero eryo. Mpumu the Seed School needs land for expansion. Tukalina ekizibu nti Mpumu the Seed yona abaana bagera. So ayo obuzibu bwetulina bwo nti saawa eno leni yatukoba ati mbawaire ebibiina bisatu oba bina tuzirayo tubizimba olw'okuba nti eitaka lye baliku itono ino tuziraga ndi tusobola kwongera bizimbe ng'ate omuwendo gw'abaana gweyongera ino. Kino era kikaali ku bwetaavu bwa sente okubona kandi sente tidibamala. So kiri kuboneka nti department mu allocation erina okwongerwako akasente okusinga kwako ke babaire bafuna olw'okuba nti ebyetaago byaibwe byeyongeire obungi. Tukalina obuzibu obw'abaana abo abali ku obulemu, abaana bangi abali ku obulemu. So amasomero mwe bali menti okujja matono, n'abasomesa abalina obukugu obuhandolinga abaana abo boona batono. So ebyo nebimu ku bizibu n'ebindi bingi ino bano kwereyo okubunokola ebitono ebyaye nga balina challenges ningi ng'ekitongole ekyebyendegeresa, ate nga mwidi nti ebyendegeresa twena tuli gano lwakubanga twasoma, tuzaire abaana betwenda basome. So kyova obona twenda muteina isira ku bintu bino ebigemagana n'ekitongole kino ekyebyendegeresa kuba buli omu kimugemamu. So ekitongole ekyo tukiviireku tuyize ku kitongole ekigemagana n'ebyobusuubuzi n'amakolero. Kyo kyona kitongole tulinakyo. Omukulu w'ekitongole kino mwami Muyaka, bamweta mwami Kabera Julius, n'atwala buti ekitongole ekyo ubiraku abantu baabo. N'oyo mwami Julius n'akulira mpera n'ekitongole ekyo. Ekitongole ekyo kino obuvunaanyizibwa okubona nti kitutumula ebyobusuubuzi n'ebyamakolero. Era ng'amakolero omulamwa tuguta ino ku bintu ebyo ebisobola okutundibwa ku luya okwensi eno Uganda. Tusobola okuleeta sente ezo okuluya era n'okuboneka nti nga site tutaawo embeera enungamu enaasobozesa abantu okusiga muno sente n'okutaawo ebyamakolero n'ebya bizinesi ebinasobola okukola ebyo byetwetaaga n'okuwa abaana baife emirimu. Era kino obuvunaanyizibwa okubona nti ebyobulambuzi bitumbulwa mu tawuni muno era byongerebwamu amaani, era n'ebifo ebyobulambuzi byaboneka nti byona bikulaakulanizibwa. So byona biri mu kitongole kya mukulu oyo. Ekitongole ekyo kiteeseteese kirina ebintu ekibaire kikolaku omwaka guno nga balikola enkalala eda abasuubuzi boona mu site balina okugradinga bizinesi eziri mu site ng'eiteeka bwe liragira, okubona nti tusomesa abasuubuzi baife ebintu naddala ebigemagana n'omutindo, okubona nti tukola ebintu tutunde ebintu ebituukaana n'omutindo. Obuvunaanyizibwa bwa kitongole ekyo. Ekitongole kirina n'obuvunaanyizibwa obw'okubona nti businesses zikolebwa mu mateeka, ziwandiisibwa bulungi, dhamanibwa era dhaba nga zisobola okusasula n'emisolo egyetaagisa. N'okuteerawo abasuubuzi enkuŋŋaana bwe basobola okukubaganira ebiduubo ebigemagana n'emirimu gyabwe. Balina obuvunaanyizibwa okubona nti bakunga abantu okutandikawo bizinesi oba bu bizinesi ez'obwo obusobola okubawa income, era n'okugaitaganya abasuubuzi abo ne bu bizinesi ez'obwo n'ebitongole ebisobola okubawa sente, era n'okwongera okusomesa abantu n'abana bizinesi enkozesa n'engeri yebasobola okwewola mu sente nga babita mu bitongole ebyo ebigaba sente, era n'okuboneka nti tuba ni inventory, tuba n'ekitabo ekitulaga bizinesi eziri mu kitundu kyaife ni emirimu egy'endawulo egirikolebwa abasuubuzi abo oba ebintu obusuubuzi bwe bemigiiremu bwa kikaaki, batunda biki, bakola biki. So obuvunaanyizibwa bwa kitongole kino. Okwongera amaani n'okugaita ebibiina ebitwala abasuubuzi n'okuboneka nti babasomesa, babalaga opportunities they basobola okutaking advantage of, n'okutyamu okuwulirisa ebizibu byaibwe si tebyesobola okubona nti ebagemeraku, n'okubateerawo emyoleso egy'abasuubuzi, okugayitaganya ab'amakolero n'obutale n'okubafunira obutale obw'okulya, okubayamba okufuna ebyetaaga okukozesebwa naddala equipment. Mu mwaka guno era balikola kukya okubona nti bataawo innovation center, bantu basobola okujja bayegera oba bakola that tulikweta innovation centers, webasobola okuta ebintu ebisobola okuyamba abantu okwolesa ebyo byaba bakoze. Balina benda mu mwaka guno okubona nti begeresa ab'amakolero okukozesa enkola enungi ezikirizibwa mu mateeka. Naddala katukobenga kye tulikweta clean production, nga neye enkola etakosa butonde bwaife, nti weikolero waba alina kyalikola, enkola yalikozesa okukola kyalikola tekosa butonde bwaife, nekyo kye tulikweta clean production. Era bali kwenda kubona nti mu mwaka guno bayunga ab'amakolero bano mu bitongole ebyo ebisobola okubawa ssente ezisobola okubasobozesa okukola emirimu gyabwe n'okutaawa amakolero ago. Era bali kusuubira nti balina kwongera okubangula ab'amakolero bano okubona nti twetanira ino polisi ey'okozesa ebintu byaife ebikoleibwa wano mu Uganda yetwakazaako erya bubu. Era tubone nti niba naife bano aba supermarkets ebintu ebitundibwamu bagezaako okutundiramu ebintu ebyo ebikoleibwa wano. Mirundi mingi twagaana omunga ebintu ebiri mu supermarket ebisinga biva kuluya. So twenda kubona nti tuteisira ku bantu baife bano bakozesa ebintu ebikoleibwa wano ewaife mu Uganda. Era tuteewo nedo centers tetujja okweta bubu centers ng'omulimu gwado okupromotinga bintu bikoleibwa wano. Era tuboneke nti bona tubateerawo emyolesa egyo mwe basobola okwoleseza bye batunda nibye bakoze nibye balikola. Mu ngeri ey'okwongera amaani mu butale, tulina kutereeza obukulembeze obw'omu butale nga tunaddala twesigamya ku iteeka eryaka eryafuluma mu mwaka ogwa 2003, ng'eiteeka lino lirina ebintu bingi ino bye lyakyusa mu ngeri y'obutale buno, naddala buno obwazimbibwa gavumenti n'obundi bwona bwona mu ngeri y'ebuteekwa okuboneka nti bulwaninga. Era tuboneke nti buli mwezi tuwaayo information egamagana n'obutale buno. Tuli kutereeza akatale k'enamulesa, era tuli kusuubira nti mu mwaka gwene guno phase 2 ey'okutereeza akatale ako eyida kukomekerezebwa. Tuli kusuubira okuta amataala ga sola mu naddala trading centers eziboneka nga ziri active ino n'obutale. Era tuboneke nti twongera okuta ebyolooni maadi mu butale bwaife. Obutale bwaife obusinga buzira byolooni, buzira maadi, kiboneka nti tikiikirizibwa era kita abantu baife abakolera mu bitundu ebyo mu katyabaga k'amaani. Tuli kusuubira okutereeza akatale kaife akanapiya, katale kanene ino kalimu abasuubuzi bangi, aye abakajjamu mukaidi nti embeera naddala ghansi bwegaba gatoonie oba nga ali mu kiraalo ky'ente. So embeera eyo twenda kuboneka nti eterezebwa, kabe tamakti bulungi, kabereke nti omutindo gw'obuyondo guniinisibwaku okusinga bwe guli saawa eno. Tulina gardens Haji Tamach ni Ripon, twenda dino zibe nga dona dongera okuba improved upon kusinze dituukane n'omutindo gwa city. tuli kusuubira nti obutalenga 6 nga n'okuli Namulesa, Kyamagwa, Mpuumwire, Napiya, Bugembe ne Madivaani bwona bwongera okuterezebwa n'okwidaabirizibwa n'okuteebwamu facilities ez'omulembe zinayamba abasuubuzi baife okukola omulimu gwabwe obulungi. Abali kusuubira okugulayo n'ebyuma bya kabwidibwidi 3 nga bino bidda kuba nga bibayamba mu kusoloza esente. Mu nkola ey'obwegaisi cooperative development bwera buvunaanyizibwa bwa kitongole kino okubona nti bagandisa ebibiina bino era ogwo omulimu bali gukola era bajja kujja mu maiso nga bagukola era bawongera n'okuboneka nti balambuula ebibiina ebyo by'obwegaisi okubona nti bikola emirimu gyabyo nga bisinziira ku mateeka agaliwo era bongere n'okuba traininga okuboneka nti babalungamya baboneke nti bakola omulimu ogusobola okuyamba abantu baife okwekulaakulanya nga babita mu bibiina ebyo. Era babegerese bintu ng'okupulaninga era bateewo ne enkola abantu bano ebasobola okwagaanana bakubaganya ebirowoozo ku bizibu byaibwe ku mirimu gyaibwe ng'abeegaisi era babegerese n'engeri y'okukuumamu esente okukuuma okudikozesa okubona baidakola okuboneka nti bayunga abantu baife ng'abalimi ku butale era baida kukola okubona nti bayunga n'abasuubuzi ku bitongole ebyo bisobola okubawa esente kubeera obubona buvunaanyizibwa bwaibwe era bali kweyama nti baida kikola era baida kujja mu maiso nga bakikola ne mu mwaka ogwida. Mu byobulambuzi baida kufulumya enkalala era buli omu amane ebifo bino ebyetanirwa abalambuzi tusobola obitegeera bulungi era tubone nti tubikulaakulanya byongere okusika abalambuzi era basobole okuba nti baida baleka wano akasente era baida kwongera amaani mu mirimu egyo egikulaakulanya obulambuzi era okuboneka nti n'obulambuzi bukulaakulanizibwa n'ebifo ebyo ebyetanirwa abalambuzi nga byona biboneka nti bikulaakulanizibwa era byongebwamu amaani bisobola okuba nti tusobola okubona nti abalambuzi abayidda mu kitundu kyaife beeyongerera irala. Dakwongera okutraininga abantu abali mu mulimu guno gw'ebyobulambuzi mukulu abakobeire for instance batuwa guides abakobeire embeera yebalikoleramu bweda kuba buvunaanyizibwa bwa kitongole kino okubona nti abantu abo babatraininga bakola omulimu gwaibwe bagukolera ate ku mutindo ne mu mateeka agayikirizibwa. Era baida akola ino okuboneka nti bafuula ekibuga kino okuba ekibuga ekyobulambuzi era ekibuga ekyetanirwa abalambuzi. Baida kwongeramu ebintu nga marathoni ebibuga ebisinga muwulira biri ni marathoni edo marathoni dino dongera ebibuga bino okufuna itutumu bantu bava ebule n'ebweya baida okwetaba mu marathoni edo so ebyo byona kyo kyona baida kita ku kalenda yaibwe ey'ebyobulambuzi kubanga kyona kikola kinene okuleeta abantu okuleeta abalambuzi muno ebintu nga carnival baida kubyorganizinga byona era baida kujja mu maiso n'okuwandiisa n'okuwa license abantu abali mu mulimu ogwo ogw'ebyobulambuzi. Baida kwongera okubona nti enkola eyongera okusomesa abantu ku ndwaire ya siriimu eyongerwamu amaani naddala abantu abalikolagana n'abalambuzi. Abalambuzi bano bava mu nsi nningi so kyenda okusomesa both abantu baife abadiringa n'abantu bano n'abalambuzi beene ku nkola yaife ya siriimu wano okugezaako okubona nti twongera okukuuma abantu baife obutaba affected obutagemebwa ndwaire eno n'okumekeshuwa nti n'abalambuzi boona tibagemebwa oba tibasiiga bantu baife ndwaire eno. So ekyo ekitongole kyona kidawa nga kyongera enkola mu area ya HIV. Mu local economic development baida kwongera okutraininga ab'ebyobusuubuzi naddala ku nkola eyunga ebitongole bya gavumenti n'abantu ba bizinesi abakinoomu okubona nti bakolera balala okusitula embeera y'ebyobusuubuzi. Twida ataawo enkola mwe twida okusayiningira memorandum of understanding n'ebibiina eby'endawulo ebyetaaga okolera muno mu city business. Twida kujja mu maiso ng'ekitongole ky'ebyobusuubuzi n'obulambuzi ne cooperative okubona nti tuyinikiza enkola ya gavumenti ey'emyoga, PDM, ghetto circles ne programs dona owekitiibwa president dagire nga ataawo okubona nti tuyamba abantu baife okuva mu bwavu. Tulina enteekateeka okwongera okudevelopinga roundabout eri ku Bridge Street awo nga ku Victoria Nile ng'ojja ku source mwabona kyetukoze ku roundabout nga tugemagaine ni MTN eyoku Ambacot. Tujja kufuna era pattern owundi gwe tuyinza ogemagana nayo mu nkola n'endala to improving roundabout eyo ey'oku Bridge Street oba ku Victoria Nile School awo eboneke nga yoona ya mulembe, yoona nga etutumula emboneka y'ekibuga kyaife eyongere ni ku muwendo gw'abalambuzi abaida mu kibuga kyaife. So ekyo kyona kiri mu nteekateeka y'ekitongole kino. Of course baida kwongera n'okubona nti bamonitoringa emirimu egya department eyo. Mu bye beetaaga of course mulimu ebyuma bya kabwidibwidi, computer, printer, ebintu ebyokuteeka mu fayiro n'ebintu ebindi ebyetaagisa ofiisi okutambula obulungi jamaiso. Okay, planning.
Now I'm going to so tukubire mwami Mawerere mu ngalo atutambuiza. We are almost halfway. Department siningi kubanga bana eno city. So bear with us. Eno city. So tuina department siningi. Atera tuenda tubakobere department sidona chiche dikola. So tuongere mwami Mawerere engalo tumusime kubanga ageziza kokubona nti buli omu amuleta up to speed. Atobera aliko esawulimi lwaife wano. Nsubira nti buli omu nduba nti buli omu eza gwe tulese inuma. Eriyo gwe tulese inuma. Wanje? Eriyo gwe tulese inuma. Tutambulire walalao. Tutambulire mu lulimi lulala olwo. Kale bwe tusigaiza yo department singa ina kandete plana waife Madam Christine atolerawo ng'atandika ni department mwene gyakulira. Then I atwala mu finance, atwale mu production, and the other.
Thank you, Rajab. Good afternoon once again. Department eyo ni ntwala ya planning projects and grants. Nga nifa abateekateeka ng'omukolonga guno ate n'okubona nga tuteekera ekibuga kino kibe nga kiri ku mutindo. Nife abakola development plan tuida twabasakamu ebiduubo twamala twakola development plan eri aligned to the national development plan. Nife coordinating and monitoring and evaluation of projects. We coordinate programs like PDM, UCHMID, Nedindi. Nife abavunanyizibwa okusoloza data nga census ni surveys. Era omwaka ogwawa UBOS yakolagana nife twabanga tusobola osoloza ebyetaagisa. Nife coordinating okubona nga ministries didada to assessing adabona oba tulikola bulungi, tuliweereza bulungi mu bintu byonna ebyetaagisa. mu kibuga kino eky'Idinda. Ebintu ebindi the achievements, tusobola okumpilinga the 5-year development plan. Eyo ebidduba ebyo twabibafunamu era twagikompilinga era tuli kulinda certificate of compliance. Ekibuga kyonna kyono ba district ekizira eidaba nga tesobola kuba ng'efuna ssente omwaka ogwida. Submitting a quarterly reports byonna na byetukola tubiwaayo mu ministries batubona engeri gye tulisasanya mu esente detuweereza ni detusoloiza. Tusobola coordinating a participatory planning meetings nga tubita mu ba planners baife betulina mu Southern Division ne mu Northern Division. Era twenda okusima ba LOCs ndi babona no tubakubire kwengalo baliwo kuba ni ba chief planners ni ba planners ab'ebyalo era balikola omulimo omulungi. Nifa tu coordinatinze okubona nga tu monitoringa, tu evaluatinga, twasobola okubanga tubonanga ebintu biritambula bulungi. The other thing is that we have coordinated PDM activities era twenda okwebaza government of Uganda ni President Museveni kuba n'ekirowoozo twandimukubire kwengalo. Nze ni President gwendidi tubonanga ku President wundi so twenda okumwebaza okuba n'ekirowoozo. He had the thought of ensuring that people bava mu kidda kyonka babanga basobola ofuna funds era nga twakafuna obuwumbi 7 nga Jinja City ate ng'esente dikaida. Northern Division ne kasinze ofuna sente obuwumbi 4, Southern Division 3.3. To overseas nga bwe tukobye tugezizako okulobinga grants era tuida waliwo present ali jolaga ku one of the proposals that twawandiika twasobola okutambula kutwaja mu nsi gye beta Brazil baba ni initiative gye batuwa era tubwoine nga bikola era ida kuba wano ayogere ebigemaku. So twabanga tubawa no information egemagana ku bungi bw'abantu n'ebyetaagisa eby'ekibuga kino eky'Idinda. Mu mwaka guno ogw'ebyesente 2026-2027 tusuubira okwongera okunonya ba partners nga bwe mubwoine nti department ya face projects planning projects and grants ife omulimu gwaife kusaka era tukasaka era tuidi nti gye tulijja mu maiso tuidaba nga tweyunga ku very many partners to develop our city. Tujja kwongera coordinating monitoring and evaluation of government programs, implementing the city development plan, coordinating UCHMID waliyo program empya kajebeta UCHMID supported by World Bank. By January processes didaba ditandika ababaire ku mawulire musobola okubona nga Parliament of Uganda yabisiza sente de tuli kwewola mu World Bank era nga ife Idinda we are among the people that are going to benefit from that money okukola enguudo nga bwe mwido dibona n'ebintu ebindi ebijoleta emirimu mu kifo kino eky'Idinda. Tujja kwongera okuvasinga the PDM program no profilinga projects okubona nga tufunamu funding, dissemination of the final budget and participating in national surveys and data collection in the city. Next page, I've summarized. Tulija mu department eiraku eya finance banonga bagemagana n'okusoloza esente era n'okubanga badisasanya. So bo basoloza ate basasanya. So nga bwe mubwoina their mandate receiver, paymaster, chief accountant n'abakola okubalirira esente detufuna mu kibuga kino eky'Idinda. Mu reports detuyina the breaking down okulaga esente detwafuna mu mwaka 2024-2025 twasoloza obuwumbi 9 era twekubire ku engalo kubanga esente dino twaditola mwime abawibwa omusolo. We had planned to collect 11 billions but we collected 9.3. From central government planning okufuna 48 billions aye twafunayo supplementary twafuna 55 billions. Era de sente ngedisinga muyinza okubona nti esente edisinga ediva mu government ningino aye edisinga damusaala abasayansi bayingirawo so omusala gwaibwe n'ogwongeiza esente daife danina tuyina abasawo bona bali ku sayansi so esente edisinga almost 80% of those funds are salaries for both secondary tusasula abasomesa abasawo so esente tumubona nti government etuwa ningi aye edisinga dibadamusaala. Eyo mazo gisummarizing then mu mwaka guno first go back mu mwaka guno 2025-2026 tulisuubira okusoloza obuwumbi 15 twakasolozaku akawumbi kalala ne miliyoni 9 mu koota enesooka so tulibewomba tubone nga tukolalira walala twongere okuwa emisolo tusobola okuwa nga tuwa services. Then mu koota eno twasuubira okufuna obuwumbi 10 kalala aye batuweereza obuwumbi 10 kalala ne miliyoni 3. So waliwo kwedasigala yoku dali da development aye badituwaire mu koota eno eyokubiri era tuli balambulira mu maiso eyo nga tuliwa mu accountability. Then omwaka oguli kwida ogw'ebyesente 2026-2027 tusuubira okusoloza obuwumbi 15.7 from local revenue era central government yo yakatuwa ku figures 46 tulijateeka budget framework paper summarizing esente detusuubira ofuna mu mwaka oguli kwida kubanga ife omwaka we guba gwakatandika nga tutandika okuba nga tuplaningira omwaka oguli kwida. Head of department wa finance ni Mwami Kafifi. Mwami Kafifi yemerera ku abantu bakubone oyo n'owebyesente. Revenue officer ndoza ye nazira waye oyo tinatwala department eyo egemaganya ku byesente. Achievements daibwe baweereza sente to tufuna sente okuva mu center nide tusoloiza nga tudiweereza ku local governments ku divisions ku malwaliro ni ku masomero basasula emisaala mazoba inonola. I've already explained to you about the salaries. Oidi nino kumixinga mukubanga tulina muku abantu aba diaspora. Mwami Jerome tawulira Luganda oba Lusoga awulira Lufalansa na Luzungu aya idategere ibanga lino lyamaze wano tudamufunira yonna Ngobi asobola omwegesa Olusoga ala sisi Mwami Mubiru ndowooza edda asobola omulimu ogwo tusobola okusasula. Jerome was saying we need to get for you somebody to teach you the local language. Yes. We are able to pay the councillors' emoluments, pay tax returns, prepare final accounts, answer audit queries, and those are some of the responsibilities that we do as the finance department. Next slide. Some of the challenges we have, like properties owned by absentee landlords that lead to delayed enforcement of revenue collections. Government ministries and agencies take long to pay money that we are owed to us. The custodian board properties have legal issues in court, so we are not able even to collect revenues from them. Some local revenue centers have not yet been uploaded on the e-log rev system, and this has led to loss of revenue in the hands of other people or middlemen. Companies and other institutions refuse to submit their payrolls for purposes of local service tax, so we are not able to collect that money at the right amounts. Negative attitude by taxpayers to pay taxes, especially property rates in the Northern Division. Unplanned settlements that bring about people evading taxes, and low revenue collection and funding from central government, making it impossible to handle the challenges that we have, like dilapidated infrastructure of roads. Esente de bakatuwa okuva mu government nga municipality, so esente tidiri kumala bulungi kubanga ate ebyetaago tuyina bingi. Omwaka oguli kwida balijja kubanga bongera okupdatinga. Mwami Mawere bwe yayogere ku wano yakobye nti we want to digitize our revenues, so we are going to continue doing that, okutraining aba staff mu IFMIS ni IRAS, okuprocuringa computers, okuprocuringa more points of sale for town agents, nga abantu tebakasasula sente aye nga bakozesa obuuma point of sale baba nga basobola okuba nga tukendeezaaku okugema esente mu ngalo. Then to advocate for harmonization of the three systems, URA, IRAS and ILOGRIV and IFMIS, while invoicing taxpayers. Continue to support and finance the revenue generation unit to enable it mobilize more funds. Provision of incentives to taxpayers. Nga town clerk bwe yayogeire nti tulijabanga tubaawo ni customer week ni breakfast a meeting where we meet with the taxpayers to see how we are improving our local revenues. Then also lobbying central government okutukolera ku enguudo edindidde tubona nga tutusobole ate ng'ebyetaago bingi. The other department is production and marketing. Mwami Chirunda David is the head of department, yemerera kubakubone. Oyo nagemaganya ku bya agriculture ebyobulimi n'ebyobulunzi n'okulondoola embwa. Embwa direma okuluma abantu n'okuvaccinating. Ekyo ekintu kikulu ino. Muyinza okuba nga timwidi we mwina kusobola kujja ba vaccinating embwa daimwe oba any other animals. So omulimu gwaibwe bali in charge of agriculture, making sure nti abantu balima ebintu ku mulembe, balunda ebisolo n'ebinoni eby'omulembe. Era mu mwaka guno ni bino bye bali kujja mu maiso okutamu nkola. Demonstration on nutrition sensitive production to support PLWH persons living with HIV. So balijja kubanga ba demonstrating engeri abantu abalina obulwaire bwa mukenembya okubanga betumbula mu byendya kubanga nkobye nti bale they are in charge of agriculture, so baidi nutrition edetagisa abantu abo. Of course they will work hand in hand with the Department of Health. Then demonstration on management of passion fruit disease. Tuyina abalimi baife aba PDM ebudonde eyo bava ku butunda bava ku enterprise eyo baja ku yindi because there is that challenge. Then establishment of practical demonstration centers. Abalimi we banaja okusoma enima enungi so that by yielding ebintu bulungi. Already 26 sites have been identified. Era abalimi batandise okujja okusomesebwa nga bakalifu na sente da PDM baidaba nga basomesebwa bategeere engeri gy'okubuusamu esente de batuwaire babe nga bafuna ebintu eby'omulembe. Facilitation of Parish Development Committee operations ekyo kirijja mu maiso. Then pest disease vector surveillance and control activities donedo diba quarterly they keep doing them. Then management and control of stray animals. Tubona nti sometimes embuzi dibakunjira ente n'ebiringa ebyo, so n'embwa, so twetaaza okubona ekyo balijja mu maiso nga bakikola. Supporting parish revolving fund beneficiaries, ejo bakobye omwaka guli kwida January tusuubira ofuna sente edda buli parish ebefuna 10. Tulina parishes 26, so tusuubira okubanga tulina okupreparinga ba beneficiaries 26,000 abo n'abalijja okubanga basomesebwa mu practical centers, and then they benefit from the fund come the next season. Then they have planned to work on drainage works on the city abattoir, and then partial procurement of cold chain system for vaccine handling. Basuubira okuba ni refrigerators edibaamu amadagala ag'okwidandaba n'okuyimmunizinga ebisolo. Byonna ebisolo babimmunizinga. Challenges de bafune bazira transport emala kubanga they are extension workers, they need to move around to give the services, so they don't have transport. Then another issue is diversion of the enterprises. Abantu baife aba PDM basaba sente to do some other activity, tujja okubona nga bakyusiiza. Ate ekyo ky'okukyusa ti kirungi kubanga niba auditors bali tubuza lwaki mwikiriza abantu bano okukyusa ate nga balagana nti bajija kuba mu agriculture batandika kugula borders batandika kola ebintu ebitali in line with agriculture. So that is the challenge. Then inadequate funding to facilitate them to handle different activities in their department. Mu 2026-2027, these are their proposals. In the next financial year, they will have to work with a team of people nabakobe waliyo program air school feeding mwidafuna ku presentation. So we are working with that department to ensure that there is nutritious meals in the schools, and it's going to be piloted in 3 schools, and then others will go on as we progress. Demonstration of urban intensive productivity units. Balisuubira okutawo 2 demonstration gardens where they will showcase town clerk waife bwe yali yakaida yakuba ebintu byasuubira. The things that he hopes us to do is to have a place nga to demonstrating enima ebinungi nga tulina amatooke ente nga ife site nga abantu baida basomera omwo aya ate nga fena tutoolamu twafeedinga abakozi twefeedingaku fena twaba nga tuli bulungi. Then strengthening the practical demonstration centers, facilitation of the PDC operations, procurement of motorcycles for the extension staff. So ebyo already ebindi activities bo balina like routine, so I will not mention all of them, but those are some of the activities that we have. Department eiraku neya works and technical services. Engineer Mugweri, kindly stand up. Oyo ni engineer waife, registered engineer. Ife Uchimidi abakozi bonna tubalina. We are the only city that has all the staff that are required for Uchimidi. So Uchimidi bw'anaatandika ife nga tutandikirawo. Others are lacking 3-4 staff, but for us we have all the staff, because ekisingira ddala obukulu we needed a registered engineer, and an engineer is registered. So this department nevunaanyizibwa okumaintaining ebyenguudo, drainage, okubona nti amataala gakola n'ebiringa ebyo, okutegeera nti abantu balikola kubanga atwala ni department eya physical planning bakolera walala awo. So by following okubona nga abantu baligobereza okutuukiriza the development, the plans de bakubye, okuba nga tiba going against the approvals de batuwaire. Nali department enevunaanyizibwa the building control committee making sure nti abantu balizimba ku mutindo n'okwadvisinga ku bintu ebya engineering mu bufunze eyo ni department. Then eina a number of sections mbaire ndimenye baina electrical, mechanical, maintenance of council premises, building control, roads and drainages. Baina a number of programs they were reporting zeku esooka ni youth mid AF eri kuigala eyayigalawo era nga tulitandika program eyindi debeta youth mid eri funded by the World Bank. Baina program eyindi eya road maintenance grant eya akawumbi akalala akaida sente edo digabibwa buli local government edifuna era the sente diva Ministry of Works Transport for maintaining of unpaved roads and eno ejikuja maiso nga badituweereza okumakinga sure nti tukola to maintaining engudo daife. Program eyindi gye balina ya road fund, Uganda Road Fund eno yona maintaining ngudo dinediri ku tarmac ate n'okusasula ba road gangs bano abeere enguudo no abaziba ebiina ebiri mu nguudo. Then waliwo grant eyindi gyebeta transitional development grant era eno tulisuubira nti Ministry of Finance will continue giving us this fund. Then partnering with Kakira Outgrowers Road Development Fund to provide fuel for maintenance of selected roads in the city. Twenda okwebaza aba partners baife abo abatukozeemu omulimu omulungi okuba nga tukolera walala okutumbula ekibuga kyaife. The achievements bye bakozeeku mu mwaka ogubise bahandolinga oluguudo lwa Mafubira Idogolo Namulesa Road era ba rehabilitatinga Wanyange Buwekula ba maintaininga Kakete Road it was maintenance, Bufula Road Nawangoma periodic maintenance, Mufumba Road ba maintaininga Kaitaba Wala Lukolo maintenance, Namadega Road maintenance, Ransunu Chirembe Road by maintaininga, Bukaleba by maintaininga. Then selected roads in the Northern Division mechanized maintenance. Tuboine enguudo diri mix tuina eda Northern neda 1000. So twebaza department ero mulimu gw'erikola. Ya installinga 178 solar lights okuva ku police roundabouts paka mailo 2 roundabouts era bwe ababiteeyo oluguudo olw'obutirutema bukofu tulisaba department eyo yongereze weyakoma wano eyongere paka ku roundabout enempyaka enungi tube nga twakira irala mu kibuga ate ndidi engineer yasuubiza daida tukobera nga bamubuziza ebibuuzo. Then lighting in markets 10 solar lights twakozesa local revenue. Then street lighting of Chira Road and part of Wilson Avenue 20 solar lights. Then expected revenue for the departments in 2026 binone ebidube byabwe bali jokola esente de bali jofuna okubanga bahandolinga projects deba planninze. Maintenance grant ya kawumbi kalala ako nakogeire ku road fund milioni 4, local revenue basubira okufuna milioni 5, mu development basubira okufuna kawumbi kalala ne milioni 6. Eyo ni department eyakasinze okufuna sente mu development under local revenue kubanga tubonanga kikulu ino era omwaka gulo gw'empiya basobola okuprocuringa grader era erikola omulimu omulungi era twenda okubeebaza ba taxpayers tie sente de mwatuwa twagulamu grader gye tulimalayo. Then transitional grant 1.2 billion. Then tulisuubira nti oluguudo n'olwa Mbulamuti Bukungu balijja tukolera the 10 kilometers mu ebyo ebifo Kimaka bypass, Mpumude Avenue, Nile Crescent ni Oboja Road. Era ababawulira Parliament ekiteeso ekyokwewola ssente edo kiri mu Parliament, tulisuubira nti baida bibisa tusobole okuba ng'enguudo edo badikolako. Mu mwaka guno gwe tulimu edo n'enguudo ediriikolebwa obadde tupulaninze okolebwa. Walukuba Masese Road erina kilometers 8.9 rehabilitation works. Nededindi Nasuti landfill enguudo ningi did mix with eda southern ni northern. Era mbonanga abantu bonna baidaganirwamu mu nguudo dino. Ensonga lwaki nsoma eyewalukuba kubanga nije tusinga okufuna kwa ab'amakolero ate n'abakobye nti ife nga Jinja City we are looking at tourism, industry and commerce. So twenda okubeebaza, mwebale ino tuwuliriza, mwebale ino asante sana owadifo wafayo matek eyalama noi, mwebale munonga, merci beaucoup. Mwebale ino mwebalire irala tuwuliriza. The beauty about this is that the heads of departments are here. Town clerk yasazeewo afunze their presentations so that we have time to engage with you people so that we are able now to get feedback. Thank you very much.
Tuongere Madam Christine Engalo. Thank you very much, Madam Christine, our planner. Tusigaiza yo presentation zidirisatu aidija kuba very brief kubanga twenda kufunza obwire obusigaire tobenga tumaliriza. Twenda kuba wa the rest of the time mubuze ebibuzo mu raising issues. If there are some projects that you feel have not been captured, you raise them. Allow me to invite, let's start with Jerome. Jerome, are you ready with the presentation? Do we have Jerome's slides? Okay. So Jerome, please come. Jerome mujamuleka ayogera oluzungu. Ndakugezaako okuyiramu ndakulondamu ebikulu byanaaba ayogeire mbayiriremu kubanga nabakobye nti Jerome mu Cameroon ava Cameroon omulimo gwe gwamutwala akolera Morocco, so yaviira Morocco okwida wano because of the partnership ere gye tulina eya UCLG and the European Union. Kwa European Union yatuwa sente okukola ebintu byajo bakoberako, so mumuleka ayogere oluzungu then ndakugezaako okubayiriramu byanaba asoboire byanaba ndidukira mu bufunze.
Webale Sebo. Yeah, Your Worship, City Mayor, Honorable Town Clerk, Honorable Resident City Commissioner, Deputy Speaker, I've seen her somewhere, City Planner, distinguished heads of departments, esteemed development partners, ladies and gentlemen, it's a privilege to take part in this important city budget conference, which really reflects our shared commitment to the transformation and inclusive development of our city, that is the city of Jinja. So on behalf of the Secretary General of United Cities and the Local Government of Africa, I wish to express our gratitude to the city leadership for the strong collaboration and ownership demonstrated so far. For those who don't know UCLG Africa, United Cities and the Local Government of Africa is a Pan-African international organization for cities, local and regional authorities in Africa. We have our headquarters in Rabat. But of course, you are an African chapter of the World Organization based in Barcelona, Spain. That World Organization is called the UCLG, United Cities and the Local Government. So for us, we are an African chapter. Today, I will present to you the planned interventions under the project called Partnership for Strengthening Governance, Resilience, and Greening of Jinja City Council. I think maybe I had to introduce myself, but some of people who came before, they introduced me. But for UCLG Africa in general, I'm the Chief Project Officer at the continental level. But for this very project, I'm the Project Manager. It's a project will take like around 7 months. So I'm working with a team of 2 local staff. They are not around, they are on a mission in Kampala. There's my sister, Leticia Nyangoma, who's the project coordinator, and Lydia Nakazibwe, who's the accountant. I'm waiting for my sisters to project, I don't know. There's a problem? Okay, anyway. No problem, no problem. So anyway, as I was saying, I present to you the planned interventions under the project called Partnership for Strengthening Governance, Resilience, and Greening of Jinja City Council. We have activities that have been jointly identified and aligned with the city priorities and that aim to support local development in a practical and sustainable way. Allow me now to walk you through the key activities. Next, please. Yes, this one, sorry. Here, as I was saying, this is a project funded by the European Union, implemented by United Cities and the Local Government of Africa in partnership with the city of Jinja. So the budget, you can see, is €1 million, around 4 billion something, okay? Next, please. We have started already, as you can see from the signpost. We are now installing 55 solar street lights on different roads. Actually, we are in Parek Road, in Magua, Acacia. And I remember the city planner talked about the children. We thought about children. We have some children, visually impaired children, who attend the school of, is it Spire Road? So they have got like around 50 visually impaired children. So we decide, of course, the city decided, yeah, we jointly decided to put there some lights to help them to, because some, those people, they don't have the same level of vulnerability. We thought it can help that school. So that is for 55 solar lights. Next, please. We also, you can see that picture. That is the landfill field of Masese. We are now contracting. We are in the contracting phase. So we are repairing. We are going to repair and renovate the waste processing facility of Masese, including, of course, the compost plant and sorting areas. We are also going to construct 4 secure bicycle parking sheds as a means of promoting the non-motorized transport initiatives of the Council of Jinja. Another activity is about rehabilitation of access roads to the Jinja. For people who know Masese, there are 2 roads which brings to the plant, but they are not practical. So now we are trying to work on them so that the access becomes easy. And we are also constructing 2 pedestrian walkways including also the, we have also, I think that's all. I've talked about everything, eh? Okay? Thank you. I think, so the way forward now, the way forward, we are planning a public project launch early November. I think some of you, especially our political representatives, our partners, most of them will be inviting the media. So very soon we'll be invited to come to join us for the public project launch. And of course, for the 55 solar lights, we have already put, is it to fix the bases? So now we are waiting for policy to put them up very soon. And during the public project launch, we'll be signing the contract with different activities. I think those who will be there, they will see what it will entail. Thank you very much. Katonda abawe omukisa.
Tuongere ngalo da Mr. Jerome. Alikwega tinecho? Wanajo okwirira ye Morocco nga olusoga alukuba budinda. Kale mubufunze nja kubabitiramu mwami Jerome byabaira ali kulaga wano ku lutimbe. But in a special way, allow me to recognize Madame Dora from UNOC. Dora, are you around? Yeah, Dora. Omchalo yo stay. Dora from UNOC. UNOC ne mobona tanks de dama futere wansi. Inumeyo mwabuliranga one petroleum bichi aibuti government ya deiriza era ne kudit ku kudidabiriza era iterekamu amafuta na buli kimu. So Dora oyo akola mu UNOC, Uganda Petroleum Company. So unfortunately numaawo waliwo mukwano gwaife mwawulira omwami yaggwa ebusoboka omumadi engineer yali akolanga ni mukama waibwe era twalinga tuli planning okuba ni kubanga tulikola batuwe sente tulikola oluguudo olwo Mutibwa, part of Mutibwa Road, tanka jediri edamafutedo era bombitayo mubonanga basi bakagwa. So we are working in partnership with them. So UNOC is they are one of our partners as we speak as Jinja City, and we've partnered to work on that road, part of that road, a section of it. So unfortunately we lost our colleague yagwa yali ajire ku weekend ni muwala we, unfortunately yagwa madi yafa. So it is very unfortunate kuba twali tutesetese mu wiki yene gye yafiramu nga tujja kubeeta abatakana ddala abawangalira mu kitundu ekyo tube n'oluguudo olwo nga tukola ki tululonchinga, but unfortunately we couldn't. So Dora, thank you for turning up, and we are working with them even in other things as UNOC. So we've been having meetings tubone tutya bwe batuyamba kwa UNOC also to create visibility within the city. So abobona bapatana baife. Dora, thank you for turning up, and it was very unfortunate for the loss of our friend Gashom. Kale Jerome mubimpimpi akobye nti ayenda okusima Jinja City okumuwakakisa okwida okubaako nibyabakobera ku project eno, era project jayogeire ku bajeta governance ni governance ni ki obukulembeze obukulembeze obwawalala, then greening okubanga ekibuga kyaife kirimu ebintu ebyobutonde okubikuuma obulungi, titutegeeza just kuba na bimuli byonka, but ebintu ebisinga byona byona tubenga tubikuuma bulungi. Then resilience ni ki? Resilience okulemeraku mu mbeera yonayo nebaawo, omuyaga bwegwidda walemeraku wagubitamu. So resilience, ekibuga kirina okuba ne resilience eyo. So project eyo etyo erimu ebintu ebyebisatu. era yakoba nti project eyo yakakaire kalamba aka euro boiza muda ifeda Uganda obuwumbi bumeka buna. Then yakoba nti so far ebitaala biri 55 naddala ku luguudo lwa Pareke kuba ndibona chairman wa Zabefa ali wano bwe twogera ku Pareke program agitegeera bulungi nti eri kujja mu maiso. So tulina program eno eri ebitaala ebindi ebijja okwida era ebitundu ebindi bidda kuganulwamu. Jerome, we have the next batch is 105. Yeah, so tulina ebitaala ebindi 15. So mu bitundu ebindi mweje bikaali kutuuka mwida kweyagana nga mwena tubataire on board. Then yayogera ku amataala 15 getwata ku Spire tulinayo abaana baife mikwano gyaife abasomereyo abakosefu abatabona aye twabateerayo amataala oleda kati abatabona mubateerayo muti amataala oleda kati muti amataala mu bantu abatabona. But we are visionary, so we thought it is important to give them that service waire tibabona but at least ababayambaku babenga tibali mumbe because it is about safety of those people. Then mu program mulimu okwidaabiriza compost erije tuyiwe bikaba kasasiro Masese n'okukola enguudo daamu mu Ndoomo. Then yayogera ku promotion of non-motorized transport. Bajja kuzimba bicycle sheds. Ena kudi notidio ba mukizwire nti buli mwaka tuba ni n'okudaguza olunaku olw'okuvuga obugaali non-motorized transport. Oba kutambuza bigere bwe tukoba ku non-motorized titwogera kusoyita kagaali konka but n'okutambuza ebigere. Tuidukira muku ebiseera bya COVID mzeyi we yatukoba ati tutambulenga muku. So not walk to work. Ti walk to work ya besije mutaleta walk to work ya besije really healthy walk to work. So tulikuja promoting tujja kuzimba bu sheds banaifa abalina obugaali mwe basobola okuba obugaali bwe babuwumulizawo babusiba ku bulungi batambula bajja bakola ebindi. Then ekisembayo ayogeire ku okuzimba walkways, pedestrian walkways. Tujja kuzimba obugira abantu kwe batambulira ab'ebigere tubenga tukompitinga na motoka ereme kwagana kunjira kairi kukutomera. Then ekisembyeyo akobye nti mu mwezi guno ogujja otandika tulida kuba ni launch, tulida kuba n'okutongoza project eno kubanga tusuubira okuba nti project eno mwezi ogwa December omwaka guno n'abeeweire and then we commission it. Kale now allow me to invite Triumph, and then finally we shall have Enable or Enabel, and then we shall go into the questions.
Thank you so much. Yes, our esteemed city leaders and officers, all protocol observed, all the stakeholders in Jinja city here from the different areas in our diversities, we want to say as Triumph Mental Health Support, we do love and treasure each one of us here. We do appreciate that the gift of life. Who are we? Again, we've not been able to project there, but we are Triumph Mental Health Support. We are, among the civil society, we are an organization of persons with disabilities. Specifically, we are persons with mental, psychosocial disability. It is more known by the UN. We use that language, psychosocial disabilities, which is more embracive. What is psychosocial disability? It comes due to experience of an impairment in the mental health. We are here because we have experienced that. And because of community support, family support, community support, government support, and partners, development partners, we are able now to live a productive life in our families and in our communities, and we are making meaningful contribution to our beautiful city, Jinja. That's why among the organization, the city is aware that we are now making meaningful contribution. That's what we are. And we are here. Why do we do what we do? We do what we do. We know that mental health conditions, among all the health conditions, is one of the most marginalized. So, we come out with our lived experience that it is possible to go through this health condition, but with the needed support, somebody can still rise up. Because mental health is a gift to all of us. All of us have mental health. But when our mental health is affected by many other conditions, including climate change that we are talking about greening, when we do not green our environment, it affects the mental health of everyone. So, mental health is cross-cutting. That's why all the departments that have been presenting, they connect with us, and we connect with them and partner with them. What have we been doing in the city now? Because I have a very limited time. What has Triumph Mental Health Support been doing in the city? I begin by appreciating our Jinja city departments. First of all, we began as a peer support group of people supporting one another. They supported us to register. We registered as a community-based organization. We began doing work simply with the support of the community department, connecting with all other departments, as you've heard. And then we were able to be trusted with other partners. Disability Rights Fund partners, they have supported us. And we've been doing a lot of work here in the city. And in this recent year, we were able to be trusted with 50,000 US dollars to work in this city. And we've been paying our taxes very well. We even received a certificate of paying taxes. So we want to appreciate that. Secondly, we want to also appreciate our Jinja City departments through the community, because we've been working in the communities. Because these days, globally, many things are going back into the community. And recently, one of the projects we've been doing is to follow up the Global Disability Summit commitments. These were commitments made, and our Uganda government has made commitments concerning persons with disabilities. And so we've been following that. And we are aware. Another project that we received through the Jinja City is a project on Global Fund, by the Global Fund. It is not very easy, but we appreciate. Can you please join us, all stakeholders? We always here locally, we clap to appreciate our Jinja City for trusting an organization which people would marginalize and say, can they manage? Those one, would they do? But Jinja City is very inclusive, as we heard from the city plan. Because they are very inclusive, they have brought in even the most marginalized. So they meet the international standards. Because the UN, the language we are speaking around is inclusion. Leave no one behind, as the Sustainable Development Goals say so. So we got a global fund through our city recommending us. Now we are doing a project to advocate for full inclusion of persons with disability. This time not only mental disability or psychosocial, because we are inclusive advocates. We are disability advocates. We've been even trained by the International Disability Alliance. So we are trying to do a project to preserve life, because we can't be a city when people are dying of HIV, TB, and malaria. And specifically now, people with disabilities who make our communities and always remain behind. We are doing a project, and this project we received it through the Jinja city. So we appreciate you, our leaders, for trusting us, and we are doing well. Now, those are some of the projects that we are doing. So as we conclude, because they gave me a few minutes, what else can we do together? Because we are all contributing to this city, to the development of our city. And God has been so good that he has even brought other partners from outside. We have just had the presentation. So, what can we do together? One of the main global problems now, it's in the area of mental health. You and me, we need to play our part. People who suffer mental health conditions, they are our family members, our mothers, our fathers, our children, our teachers, our other government officers. How can we, now I would like to say that, what the recommendation I would give and what we are following up, Uganda government has signed many instruments in the area of inclusion. One, Convention on the Rights of People with Disabilities. Every work we do, if we are to include people with disabilities, we need to consult. Thank God we have the legal officer who is leading here, who will really support to see that whatever we do is in line with these international standards that our government has agreed that they will follow. The Convention on the Rights of People with Disabilities. The Sustainable Development Goals also talks about the marginalized groups, and it talks about women, children, and persons with disabilities. Of recent, we have the UN guidelines on deinstitutionalization. This business of saying that this person has gotten a problem, maybe has a disability, should be taken. Eri mu kizibe, bamutwale mu kizibe, bamutwale eri mu kiralu, bamutwale mu, mu kirema. Those things of saying, let these people be taken to their fellow people with disabilities. That is no more. There is a guideline. We are going to work together. We commit ourselves as Triumph, because we've been trained in these things, to work together with our city to see how do we implement these instruments. Then another one, the most recent, is the Global Disability Summit commitments. My time is over. Maybe we end by introducing ourselves now. I'm Robina Nakanwa Jalambuya. I am the Executive Director and the founder of Triumph Mental Health Support. I'm a woman with psychosocial disability, though I have physical disability due to accidents, but thank God our city is working now to see that we have few, maybe we limit accidents. I also work on the African continent. I've just also come back with Brenda from the African Commission in Banjul, Gambia, because I work, I'm an executive council on disabled women in Africa. I also serve as the president of Transforming Communities for Inclusion, Global. Our office is in Geneva. Brenda, introduce yourself, please.
Yes, for the sake of time, I am Brenda Akankwasa. I'm the programs officer. Maybe one statement I would say is that I thank God for all the performances, all that we have done as a city, and we greatly appreciate as Triumph for all the work that has been done. may mental health be among the priorities, the top priorities, even as we continue to do the great work. God bless you.
Okay. At the moment, as we began in Walukuba, we go there for if we are having more activities that need a lot of space. But our offices, official offices now are on Oboja Road, plot 5. We are with this, Oboja Road, plot, in the building where we rehabilitate, where children from the streets are being rehabilitated. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Triumph. In the interest of time, allow me to invite Madam Amina Mutesi. She has a short presentation on school feeding program. And then we shall wind up with Enabel.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am presenting on behalf of the projects department, which is under planning unit. We had an experience last year where we were invited to study on school feeding and nutrition. We wrote a project, and this project was placed among the projects that Jinja City must undertake as a way of looking after the school-going children. This particular project, the background comes from the Bloomberg philanthropists that gave us an opportunity to write a project on how we can improve school feeding and nutrition. Jinja City School Feeding and Nutrition Program was established in relation to the Ministry of Education policy on school feeding. The challenges we have as Jinja City is that school feeding is largely in the hands of parents. It is parent-led. The policy on school feeding still emphasizes the role of the parents in feeding learners. So what we are developing now is to study, to have, to improve the learners' nutrition, attendance, and academic performance. And this is greatly inspired by the visit we made to Brazil in the city of Sao Paulo. In Brazil, we realized that the government is in charge of school feeding. All the children get their meals, but the government dictates the menu because the government cares about the nutrition of its citizens. But the difference with us here, it is still under the lead of parents. It is the parents that are in charge of their children's feeding at school. So we were advised to look at schools that have a boarding section where learners have several meals in a day. And our pilot project begins with 2 schools, Victoria Nile and Magua Primary School, where we are trying to use the inspiration of Sao Paulo to promote nutrition among our children and also use the local farmers to help in this program. We have formed a select committee where we have the principal maternal health officer, the production officer, planning department, and also education and administration, which is going to ensure that we unite farmers with these schools, and these farmers particularly supply vegetables and fruits to make sure that the diet is enriched. The vegetables and fruits that are going to be added on our meal are supposed to ensure that the learners get a balanced diet. Previously, according to the school menus, learners have been only eating posho and beans. But we have said let us reduce the beans and have some greens, so that instead of having posho and beans alone, we can now include vegetables and a fruit for a learner so that their nutrition is improved. And we think that by the end of this project, many learners are going to improve health-wise. We are going to retain many at school And we are also going to have, a healthy generation. The lessons we learned from this Sao Paulo visit was that integrating education, nutrition, and agriculture policies was very key. Partnership between schools, parents, and farmers is also very important because the local farmers ensure sustainability of the program. We also know that we are going to develop a plant-rich local menu, which will include those things you have seen: beans, sukuma, cowpeas, sweet potatoes, sweet bananas, and we are launching it in Magwan, Victoria, because the population of learners can almost make 4,000 in those two schools. And these learners have more than 2 meals a day. Therefore, it is easier for us to follow them up. We have a component, as you see that, the policy and coordination will be done by the Education and Planning Department, and then planning, focus area will be planning and monitoring. Nutrition and menu will be done by the nutrition office, which is led by the principal maternal health officer, and they are in charge of designing the menu and training. Agriculture will also be it's a key component of this school feeding program, and the production officer is going to bring farmers, especially those PDM farmers, on board. The community will include the PTAs and SMC, and these ones are going to be sensitized on gardens and even schools themselves having vegetable gardens. The procurement will be done with the Education, Planning, and Production Department, and then the local sourcing will be done. We have an opportunity that when we begin these projects, this program is going to attract some kind of funding where these particular schools will receive new kitchens and also storage facilities for food. So if we implement it as we have planned, we have already designed our lunch menu, and we want to launch that book when that time comes. And we want you as the stakeholders to support us because we believe the children are the future of this generation. If they are healthy, the better. We also learned that sugar has been eliminated from the diet of learners from the ages of 3, actually from 1 to 5 years. In Brazil, those children do not take sugar. They are only eating organic products, and they are very healthy. They rarely fall sick, unlike ours this side. We are also advised to eliminate meat as a protein. In Brazil, they had a problem that children were eating a lot of meat. In Uganda, meat is only on Christmas or Eid Day. But still, we can supplement the children's feeding with enough greens and enough fruits and ensure that these children grow without falling sick from time to time. There are pictures there to show at the end of this program the expectations we have, how these children are going to look like when this school feeding program is implemented come 2026. And we have so far engaged some stakeholders, and we are moving forward. And we think the pictures there, if they can be showed, are going to show the improved learner nutrition focus and attendance, stronger homeschool community partnership, increased demand for local produce and farmer income, established model of other Ugandan cities. You can see those photos. They are showing how children are concentrating at school because they have had lunch and they are expecting another meal. Those who do not have lunch, those ones have a balanced meal there. That shows that we hope these children are going to come out as an example to the rest of the schools as we extend these programs to other schools in the city. Ladies and gentlemen, our gaps. We are looking for funding in the area of training. Our partners are here, Enable. We want to train the kitchen staff on how to design these nutritious meals. We want to see that all the parents support us. We want to sensitize them and see that the parents, much as they cannot plan this balanced diet at home, we want to see that they join us to plan the school menu while at school. Thank you so much for listening, and I wish you good deliberations. Bana ekisembyeyo baganda bange tulini project egemagana n'ebyokulisa abaana. Government yakobo okulisa abaana buvunaanyizibwa bw'abazaire. Aye bwe twaje Sao Paulo, Brazil, twayagananga kai government nerisa abaana. Era government nesalawo abaana bye balya. Timu mala galisa abaana mnyama buli lunaku oba biki balina okulya balanced diet eri mu greens. So twayidde eno tuli kutandika modo, tutandise n'amasomero agali ku boarding, kubanga batukoba beetaaga amasomero agabanga gawa ekyokulya emirundi egiwerako. Mwidi nti eri abatalira irala mu masomero gaife. Kale programu ene batasobola kubagasa. Aye abalina ge batandikira n'abo abafumba ekyemisana, breakfast, ekyeigulo ne evening tea possibly. Naga amasomero abiri we tuli kutandikira, era nsuubira nti mu pilot phase eno tujja kuba n'okureducing emissions, carbon emissions, kuba abali kulima iva babalobera okukozesa ebigimusa ebigemagana n'okufuuyira balikozesa organic products. And I think all of us can work hard to achieve this project. Mwebale kumpuliriza.
Thank you very much for that presentation. Let's proceed with the Enable. It's the last presentation, and then we go into the discussions. Hope you'll be able also to summarize.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Yes, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Can we rise up for just 30 seconds and stretch a bit? We've sat for long, so let's get a health break before I can take you through this. In the next 10 minutes, we should be done. Oh, kindly help us.
Ndisaba mwena muningirire tukole muku akapi wanu. Bwenkoba nti nkole nti nga mwena kye mukola. Bwenkoba nti nkole nti kale tuli kutandika. Nkole nti
Oh, let us appreciate Madam Amina for that. Can we give a hand clap? Thank you very much. My name is Julius Lukwago. I work for Enable. Kindly, let's look at the first slide briefly. I came with my colleague. I'm going to ask her to introduce herself before I can run you through these various slides. Thank you.
Thank you, Julius. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Flavia Mpeire. I work with Enable. I work as a teaching and learning officer. I'm a teacher by profession, and I do support teachers. Thank you.
Thank you, Flavia. So Julius Lukwago is my name. I'm in charge of institutional development and governance at Enable. And I sit in the Jinja office. This is our presentation outline. I'll be taking you through the introduction to Enable, the strategic focus of this organization. We'll look at the overview of our work in Jinja. We'll look at the achievements, our partnership with Jinja City, and then what are our future priorities, and then finally we'll look at the lessons and opportunities. So briefly, this is what Enable is. We've been in Uganda since 2003, and we started work as a bilateral cooperation. Were initially called the Belgian Technical Cooperation, but the name was changed to Enable. We are not an NGO. We are a development agency. So we implement work on behalf of the Kingdom of Belgium. And so what we are doing is we are implementing the international cooperation policy of Belgium. But whatever we are doing is an agreement between the government of Uganda and the government of Belgium. So this is the strategic focus of our country program. We are focusing on education. We are focusing on health, green and inclusive cities, sustainable and inclusive growth, skilling and employment, and then finally governance and accountability. Those are our focus areas. That's where we are focusing. That's where we're putting money. In terms of our work in Jinja, we have 4 really high-level projects that we're implementing. And one of them is the We Learn, We Teach project. Now that's an education project. And we are largely in secondary schools. We are focusing on government secondary schools. So I want to answer Amina's question. We might not be able to give you funding, but just share with us that concept. We can pitch it and then see what can be done. So the second one is the We Care project. It's a health project. And this one is working with government health facilities and referral hospitals. And in Jinja, we are working with the 4 facilities plus the referral hospital. And then we have the We Train for Health. This is focusing on the nursing schools. And we are working with the Jinja School of Nursing and Midwifery. Finally is the We Work, which is really targeting the skilling and employment of young people. So I'll try to look at the first project, which is We Learn. We Learn, like I told you, is an education project, and we are working with our secondary public schools here. And in Jinja City, we are working with 7 schools. We are working with the Impumude Seed, St. Stephen, Masese, Wanyange, PMM, Jinja College, and Jinja SS. Next slide. Just run quickly. So this is our snapshot of the project. We are looking at boosting equal learning opportunities. And the We Learn project is actually looking at the whole continent. We are working with very many stakeholders. Right from the district, we work with the city education officer and his entire team. We work with the schools, the boards, and the PTAs. We work with the head teachers. We work with the teachers. We work with the students. So it's a whole continent that is focusing on boosting equal learning opportunity from the highest level to the lowest level. So you realize that we have 2 interventions here. One is the We Learn project, which is really focusing on that whole continent. But we also have the We Teach project that is focusing on the teacher, strictly the teacher. And there we are looking at boosting teacher competencies for gender transformative education, where we want to see the teacher transformed in the way they teach, in the way they handle the learners. So we are here as Enable for up to 2028, June, but we are hoping that there will be extension or more funding to come. That's what we believe. And we are in Busoga. We are working with Jinja, the city and the district. We are also working with Kamuli. Yes. And also we do work in the Renzori. We work with Fort Portal. We work with Kabarole. We work with Kasese. We work with Chegegwa. And then we have our partners, the European Union. They give us funding to do work in the West Nile and Acholi regions. Next slide. Okay, so I've already talked about all this. We are focusing on adolescents. Girls, we are only talking about girls here, but even the boys are inclusive. We also look at the refugees, and the main point here is that we want them to access and remain in school for the 4 years. So our focus is really on the first 4 years of the students, senior 1 to senior 4. And so we want to see that they complete those first 4 years. I've already talked about the stakeholders that we are working with. This whole list of stakeholders have gone through our program. So we have different components. We have institution development, which I actually lead. And this is what we have been doing. We are supporting, or we have supported schools to develop strategic plans. Many schools don't have strategic documents that can help them win funding. And so we've supported them to develop those in the 20 schools, the core schools, the 20 that we are supporting. And then we've also supported them to work on school improvement plans, because from time to time we support them on those small activities which they need to achieve. We are doing a lot of support supervision, working with the Directorate of Education Standards to provide this ongoing support supervision. And finally, we're also doing a lot of school strategic leadership, where we want to see that our head teachers, the boards, the PTAs are up to speed in terms of strategic leadership. Pedagogy is another component, and my colleague Flavia leads on that. It's really focusing on the teacher. So this is what we've been able to do as Enable. We've trained 398 teachers in the city, only the city. And we've trained them in competency-based curriculum or active teaching and learning. So there's a new curriculum for O-level. So our teachers in Jinja City, especially in the schools I've mentioned, have had an opportunity to go through this new curriculum. So they're able to deliver that project-based kind of curriculum. They have been trained on how to assess that curriculum, working with UNEB. Our teachers in Jinja City have been trained on that. We also have a course called Values-Based Teaching and Learning, where we want our teachers to, have those values that make them stand out and look different from other teachers. So we have a whole program on that. We've also, go back. We've also done a course in international computer driving license. It's an international course. We paid for some of our teachers to go through that. We distributed textbooks and teacher guides. Close to 7,500 textbooks were distributed in those particular areas: mathematics, English, literature, physics, ICT. We've also done a lot of ICT distributions. We gave out desktop computers and IPSs to 3 schools. Next slide. We have another component called Regional Teacher Initiative Africa, where we have selected one school called Jinja College, and we've set up a hub. That hub, we were able to give them those facilities so our learners can access it and develop innovations, because we gave them 25 desktop computers, 7 tablets, 50 conference chairs, a screen, laptops. But we also have these other cluster schools that received some of those gadgets. So we are trying to also build their capacities in developing innovations. So our second project is the We Care project. Now this is focusing on health. And I've told you that we are providing support in 4 health center force: Budondo, Walukuba, Bugembe, and Impumude, plus Jinja Regional Referral Hospital. Next slide. And this is our broad objective. We are really looking at the mother and the child. We want to increase or enhance quality of health services for the mother, the children, and the vulnerable groups. So this program is here up to 2027. We are already moving, and the funding is from Belgium. We are working with 7 local governments. So these are the key priority areas where we have invested money. We are looking at strengthening community capacities for autonomy and informed health decisions. And one of the things we've done is we've conducted CAP studies to understand people's perspectives on health issues and promoted health lifestyles. Two, we built capacities of peer support networks to produce reusable sanitary pads, and I guess this is already happening in some of our facilities. Then we've conducted comprehensive screening for infectious diseases and STIs, and been able to raise awareness on identified prevalence rates. The second core activity we are doing is really focusing on emergencies, where we are supporting emergency medical services and referral systems, where we are strengthening ambulance referral system and functionalizing the emergency units in the facilities. In terms of quality and acceptability of healthcare in these facilities and hospitals, we've been able to procure medicines, essential medicines, supplies, which are really focusing on comprehensive emergency. And we've also conducted donation drives, blood donation drives, in partnership with the Regional Blood Bank and the Uganda Red Cross Society. We've been able to construct incinerators at our facilities and been able to train the end users. We are also working with the Ministry of Health to be able to disseminate policies and guidelines. Finally, this is really focusing on the local authorities, strengthening their capacity to promote accountability, accountable health system leadership. And we are working with the health unit management committees, the HUMICs, strengthening their capacities. We are working with the DHTs, strengthen their capacities. So that's what we are doing on that. This project is focusing on the nursing school. In this country, we are supporting 3 nursing schools at the moment. We are supporting Jinja School of Nursing, we are supporting Hoima and Fort Portal. But this information really focuses on Jinja. So that's our target group. We are looking at the students. We are looking at the tutors, the health tutors, and the governing council members. And we are working with the Ministry of Education. These are some of the interventions which we are doing in this area, which is focusing on enhancing the quality of teaching and learning. And we are really building skills of these tutors and in digital literacy, for example, issues around innovation and safety, issues around ICT and learning resources. We are also doing a lot of mentorship with them. Next slide. In terms of strengthening governance, planning, and institutional capacity, we are conducting a results-based management training. We are also supporting business planning and development, because I've talked about this in the schools. We support strategic plans, but here it is the business plans. The idea behind this is for them to be able to come up with business ideas that can be supported by Enable. Improving physical infrastructure and facilities for access to education. We did a needs prioritization. We're able to do a maintenance and inventory activity. We were able to also work with our infrastructure team to develop what we call master plans and detailed designs for these sites. And then construction of the skills labs and simulation spaces. Next. This is a snapshot of the investment that we are doing in these nursing schools. I don't want to take much time on this. This is another project, the WeWork project, that is really focusing on skilling the young people to be able to get employed. Next slide. These are our target groups. We are working with vulnerable young girls and boys. We are working with the TVET institutions, and I think in Jinja, we are working with Kakira. Kakira is one of the centers we work with. We are also working with the UHTTI, the Uganda Hotel Training Institution. We are giving it some support. These are all the stakeholders that we are working with on this program. The idea is that young people, especially women, acquire the skills and find decent jobs opportunities in agriculture and the green and sustainable economy. Next. That's all. Is that project there is? Okay. So we have what we call value chains that we support as an organization. So the We Work project is focusing on supporting value chains like horticulture, livestock, for example, projects like poultry, piggery, fish farming, apiary, coffee and cocoa growing, and barley. We have very many grantees that are receiving funds from us to be able to do this work. I may not be able to give you the whole list, but we give grants, small grants to these grantees to be able to run these enterprises, because we know that when we give them the grants, they will be able to employ very many people. Very many young people will be able to work. And so we are working with young people, support them to be able to start up small projects and run them. In terms of partnership with Jinja, as an organization, we are interested in strengthening our collaboration with the Jinja city, and we are so grateful to the city mayor and the town clerk for inviting us for this, to pitch our work. We are always happy to continue this collaboration and also continue to share extensively. We also want to strengthen our collaboration with the local communities and the local-based organizations. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we really want to strengthen that through our networks with these grantees. We know that some of them are at the sub-county level, division level, so we shall come and we strengthen these. In terms of key lessons and opportunities, what we are doing has to be owned up by you. And that's why we want to pitch this to you, so that you are able to own up what we are doing. Because at some point, Enable pull out. So we have to leave a footprint behind that can be owned up by the leadership of the city. We want to strengthen multi-sectoral collaboration and also be able to leverage city resources and partnerships. I've been sharing with my colleague Flavia. We always have very many trainings, and we're saying that we have to discuss with the leadership to allow us bring some of our trainings here. That is the only way we are going to connect more and build solid relationships. So that is something we are going to discuss with the leadership. So in terms of our upcoming priorities and next steps, one of the things that is really top-notch is we are looking at construction, because Enable is going to leave very many institutions with infrastructure. So we are looking at construction. We have 2 schools in the city that are going to receive infrastructure, St. Stephen Budondo and Masese Seed School. They are going to receive infrastructure. And so they are going to be refurbished to centers of excellence in the region. Those who want to see the kind of work we are doing, you can begin seeing what is in Masese. We have just started. And those who have been to Kaliro, NTC, Mubende, Kabale, that is Katas of Enable. So those NTCs were refurbished by Enable, the Kingdom of Belgium. So we are bringing real excellence in the region, I can assure you. Secondly, we are still giving out a lot of equipment in the facilities, especially ICT equipment. We shall still give out. We've been able to give a few things to the City Education Office. We gave them a motorcycle to support their support supervision. We gave them 2 tablets. We gave them a laptop and 2 desktop computers. so to support their work. And more will come. We also want to strengthen academic management through the teller system of managing teacher attendance and staff attendance, working with the leadership. We are still building a lot of capacity for our key stakeholders. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are the slides we prepared. I want to ask my colleague Flavia if there's anything I've forgotten. I want to give you the microphone and you say it before I hand it back to the speaker. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We are happy to continue this conversation. We shall share our details and we shall remain your liaison persons. In case there's anything you want, we can link you to the right people in the skilling project, in the health project, in the WeLearn project, name it. We are happy to do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ndidi Mukoye, but let's give another round of applause to Enable. Muwulire ebintu bye balikola mu butuufu bingi, era omuntu mu butuufu w'abaidye n'akugemerako olina okumusiima. So we want to thank you and we hope that even when the project comes to an end in 2028, the government of Belgium can still extend another support to us. And as a region, we hope that we should continue benefiting from such projects. So, ladies and gentlemen, bana kanona kaseera bw'oba olina ekyokwogera owanika omukono because ennyuma eyo ndibona balitegeka ekyemisana kyaife tusobole okuva wano nga tumaze okirya kyona. So, tandika ni Mr. Nalwairo, then the Councillor Sansa, and then so omuntu waba amaze okwogera ku nsonga kayitogiiramu. So let's pay some attention. Be brief, be precise.
Abakulu mwena nenda okubebaza protocol observed. Nenda okusooka okwebaza organizers ba budget conference eno. There is a difference between this one and the previous one we had. Walengo idha wayomba babakuba sawa 3 abakulu bene ba heads of departments batuuka sawa 5. Bw'oyomba kubako bati ndowooza oyo kimulesa amangu azira byakola. But I'm very grateful and I thank you that we are able to start as early as possible. Naenda n'okwebaza abantu abaidye. I didn't expect this number kubanga bana emikolo mingi mwidinda. To get this number, I'm grateful. Never heads of departments mwebale kuidha kubaawo. Previously nga head of department his presentation yabulawo. Ekiseera ky'ebibuuzo kyatuuka ng'azirawo. Then the other thing for which I'm very grateful, nti waba one consolidated report. Bana tutyo ebintu bwe twabikolanga womala oliwa. Zumalo ajire. Tutyo bwe twakolanga ewa Kiso. How you present, ime mwayongerezanga kubongereze. And I think that saves a lot of time. Kintu ekindi nendo okwebaza bwenja mu administration nendo okwebaza nti mwasobola okufuna the council lawyer. Are representing the council. Yendida kwa enforcement bakama bange ekibuga kirifuuka kyante nambuzi. Stray cows and goats and even dogs. Aba environment bagezizaako okusimba emiti but you find many of them are destroyed by the goats and the cows. Ekintu ekindi nekya city court. And wasn't this time we shall have the city court. Kino kituyamba ebintu bibiri. Regulatory, okubona nti tukuuma amateeka ebintu byajjanga bibisaanira okuba. Era naabo abagezaako okumenya amateeka twabafuna mu ka revenue. Ensonga yindi, it is noise pollution. Banaife abe Nalufenya. Ate Nalufenya, it is a very sensitive place. It is the United States. All types, abazungu, aba-America, aba-Warabu, aba-Chotala, baliyeyo. And some mind their rights. City Council never permission. It is nice that you are planning to have that noise machine, controlling the noise. I want to work with Ndongo kutusa sawa mwenda gwabwire. Why can't we control maybe up to midnight? That thing police says it is Jinja City which gives the permission. Nendo kwebaza nti mu plan tulitamu okulongosa city hall eno, that is the parking ni perimeter wall. It will give a big facelift. When the natural resources nendo kwebaza ekyo kye muli kutamu nti you are going to collaborate with the LOCs okubona nti we green this city. Ekyo twakikolanga era bane emiti egisinga bungi nga ndi wano town clerk twagemagananga n'abeerosi twasimba kubanga emusimba you give the LOC the responsibility to safeguard those plants. Aiboberekawo embuzi daida wazirafayo. It belongs to all of us and yet it belongs to nobody. Era ni kino ekya nursery plant nurseries kyona nenda okukyebaza nti era tukiteemu amaani. When did the trade and industry, tourism? Yes, as the town clerk said, this is an tourism town. We need information. Acting tourism officer, agezizaako nightlife and accommodation. Diri kumukutu gwa Jinja City. Twenda wabewa katabo. What are the attractions? Omuntu bwava tute ku website yaife. So that no muntu ali kuluya idinti boje idinda, eriyo bumper jumping, eriyo ski and so on. I think that will say that further. Ndikumpi kumaliriza mpegano kanje ku nsonga yange. Nenda kuba selfish. Nalufenya Paris. Banange Nalufenya Paris is the face of this city. We have over 40 hotels. And even the biggest hotels are found in Nalufenya. Twabani Tourism and the Hotel Management Training School, Crested. Twabani Government Hotel, Crested, Erikumpyo Kuigurwa. Twabani Source of the Nile, which is bringing this council a lot of money. And I'm sure Source of the Nile is one of the centers that are giving us a lot of money. Then Twabani National Agriculture Show. Hotels that require a lot of money. Hotel tax, property rates, and ground rent. Aye, Nalufenya tulikubanga left out. How can you clean the feet and you forget to clean the face? But who are survived the Kujak source of the Nile, they pass through Nalufenya. And good the Ifembi, era sometime back, try to get any Mr. Rwanga. twaitha ni Honorable Migereko ni Honorable Kasigwa. He promised that during this budget they are going to consider us. How can you have crested crane ng'oluguudo lwa Jackson? It is not a road to be in Jinja. Bulido bat promisinga bakoba nti sente dine dinava ku Ambakoti Mbulamuti. To some of the roads will be in Narufenya. I don't see any road here. Maybe ndakube bazamu nti muligezako considering source of the Nile. You have planned to do Cliff Road and Bridge Road. Zino ne dibaletera sente. Always we are getting cases where tourists are ambushed. Or they are very adventurous. They got source of the Nile, bavayo bwire, babitao ku show ground, baba ambushinga, and isn't it spoiling the good name of this town? So please, council, make sure you consider Narufenya. To Sasura property rates. Property rates, there is a formula as to how that money should be given. Titwita akobanti 75 dona mudituwe. Mugule grader from property rates. Aitwena tukobenti abe Narufenya katubakolere ku nguudo. Amatala we are bad off. Ebitundu ebindi sawa isatu abantu ababakata ambula banji. Aye Narufenya mulala. And you find many people at a risk. Abantu begaliza mu bisagati, when you walk kubenduru, you can hardly get any help. So we're emphasizing this. Mpagano batwakuba kukerere engineering ni Southern Division batwa kwa matala experimental solar lights, but they are very poor, very dim. In fact, wano omuntu wobere tusobola kubona what is there. Now we are saying we need more lights and to do our roads. Ekisembayo. Ido bena baile mu budget conference ya Southern Division. Issues came up. Abandi nga bakoba ati aife solar lights to the vehicle. Tuile yoku, is it Uganda Electricity Distribution Company. Nga bakoba nti muleta matala ga solar. Bawa guarantee it is 15 years. But from experience, gaboneka less than 5 years gayo noneka. Tida koba nti tuile yoku gana nkani oba tuje ku solar. But I think we need a thorough study about the solar Niganaga Uganda Electricity Distribution. Kubanga iwaitala ilala, it is a lot of money. I hardly ya ngalifire. Are we benefiting? So please, the council, look into that into details. Should we use Uganda Electricity Distribution company power or solar?
Okay.
I thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You've raised quite a number of issues. Ensonga baba dogeire ku mbegaire mutadiramu. Buti n'ekindi bw'oba oli kansala, bw'oba oli staff tijja kuwa kazindaalo. Tojja kubuuza iwe linda oida kwiramu bye bana ababuuziza. So tambuza wote.
Webalinda sebo. Olw'ebiseera tiza kumala bwire kutambula ino. Abakulu abategeeke mwebala musomo guno twebasiimu ebyange bitono. Nali mu education sector nga nkolayo. Bwe mbaye mutukobera wali education mukobibwa ku government schools, private schools. Are they not students of Uganda? Kitegeere kubanga mutukobera enrollment ya government aided but private. Twena tumane abana abo ifempano tutwala private. Are they not considered by the government? Second point, watu etawano wana mayor, watu etawano ba LOCs you picked a few of us watukoba tujje tulonde amagira roads nti mujaga wa signposts aye tukibayiremu batusina mu byalo okuba abantu bakisunyako ekintu kibali bubi nkibayidukiza mukiteemu mulete signposts ku magira ge twabaweereza point endi ebintu bwembanga mwigulawo ebintu bino byemukola naddala amasomero gemuzimba kumalwaliro gemukola kugementionizawo mwetenga community kuba gavumenti eri politicized bakoba nti gavumenti ekoze eki aye mweta community nimweta nifa abakulembeze tukoba nti yes kuba ife abantu balowooza ati isomero nerikoze aye nga nimwe omukoze. So please invite the community and other stakeholders to come and witness ekyo kiboneka nti kiba mu butuufu. So ensonga eyo ekisembayo nekya environment wena watweta wale twabakumawo twakukoba nti twende emiti mainly fruits mutweze fruits na tusimbe kutuboneke nti ebintu ebyo tubanabo mu byalo aye eziranaire mu plani yo bwe kibairemu. So ebintu bino tuli kubayidusa nti please put into practice ebintu byetubaleetera bibemu. Thank you.
Kale tweyanziza
wano kanvewo
waliwo omukyala likwenda kuko omukyala kairi awo waliwo ko omukyala awo nearby. Okay, obuwa mwami oyo wakuba kyala mukyala sembera then katubalancing muyinza okuba nti abakyala tituli kuba
neyanziza ino sebo chairperson ndakutwala omukisazi eno okwongera iroboozi kuba nange byebogeire ndakusooka nebaze abategesi mu remarks da planning officer dayogeire ensanwike ino bwayogeire nakuba nti ali kuinvolvinga abaana banange emiti emitono ekibira nenda okwebaza Jinja City olw'okulowooza ku baana kubanga abaana buli concept mweditandikira. Nebaza town clerk in his remarks he emphasized teamwork era ebintu bingi byamutegeike birungi aye nga tutukoleire walala banange bakulu banange abali wano stakeholders ni community okusingira irala LC chairman owokukyalo kintu kikulu ino kubanga many projects come dahanyinga mwibanga kale ndi ku advocating aba members abali wano nti teamwork is very important. Plans d'abantu bano mudiboine kulupapula luno plans inungi buli kimu aye mwena ndakusaba management nti there is need to monitor the implementation. Much as you plan sente ni dida they have lobbed but tuleteire ba supporters or NGOs they have lobbed and brought money down. Development partners, but you need to monitor the implementation. After implementation, monitoring who is in charge. I'll give an example. And the education department ekola ino etukola mu omulimu. But there is a need to inspect down there. Many schools have mushroomed. Aya abasomesa abali mu masomero ago bali ni baluwa daiwe. Do they have those papers down? Because me, I train nursery teachers, but they have left many certificates in my office. So there is need, Bab Education Officer together with your team to monitor on the ground. Ndaku ongere idobozi ku private partner. Much as you inspect government schools, twena mutwidemu, we need to learn a lot. Learning has no end. Atera nayenda okusaba nifa aba private to be flexible to jam offices d'abantu abo. That's why those offices are there, making sure nti batuyamba batuguidinga. Kale nenda okuva waigulu nga mbebaza entegeka monitoring mutusupervising. Security is very important. Kanje ku mukyalo kyaife ekyempumwire nze nsula Kalange road ayo oluguudo olwo mu darkness just of recent bakuba LC chairman waife ekiso lwanzikiza eri awo kyokka nga n'oluguudo oli kw'eirwaliro kale bananze mbayinsa abantu emba mupulaninga kalange road kwensula okulya eirwaliro ng'ate tujja mu kataleere mutukonsideringe muteemu ku lights.
Kale tweyanziza.
Lastly, Annabelle, what you call it, Annabelle, I happen to be on the HIMUC executive edeirwaliro balina ebintu bingi byebenda okutukolera aye bakoba nti mpumwire amalwaliro gaife gazira land titles tukwenda memba g'abasawo aye bazituzira land titles ndakusaba n'obuwombeefu City Council mutukolere ku kyaki ku kyebyapa eby'amasomero n'amalwaliro.
Tweyanziza. Omukyala waliwo omukyala owundi abaire, there was a lady around there. Oyayirako the next lady there. Omukyala oyo moyo omukyala ntalo.
Neyanziza imusebo.
Omuntu bw'aba amaze okwogera ku nsonga eyo mbegayire tugireke because we've captured it. Just bring up a new thing.
Thank you very much. Ndakusaba nti ng'ebitiibwa bwe bibaire mu order bisigale bityo. Amayina gange ninze nayiga gaali Sintalo. Nze ndikwebaza town clerk atubitiire bitiremu ebintu bingi nibwe tube tukole. Najja ku musolo. Omusolo tuli willing okusasula omusolo. Aye obuzibu bwe buli nti abantu abandi tuba tituyidde emisolo gye tuteekwa kusasula. Tuli kusaba sensitization eya community. Ole yakati sasula ground rate oti ground rate neeki yakoba ati mperano oli sasula property rate oti kabiri ekyo kya idieri kwegamba we need information once eno kuitaka ku grassroots tutegeere n'ekindi services era dona de yongere muko okulongooka mperano omuntu ajja yakati batusomeire wano nti City Council erina omukono mu health centers mu masomero ayo omuntu wa bulida aj'okubonanga tibiri kukyukako bali kusasula emisolo ye ezira kakyuka wojja ku health center bakoba ati eriyo panado era abandi batambula n'ekyo ate wojja mu madwaliro ago bakuwandiikira panado.
Be specific kikyoyenda kiterezebwe mu
ndikwenda service ndikusaba services be specific eidagala City Council part yeri supposed to play ebijja ku idagala kituuke. Ni sanitation yone ekolebweko webanga City Council netekola
sanitation malwaliro
kubakozi
sanitation mu madwaliro
ne community in hall
kubakozi ki. What is the problem?
Mperano kubakozi the government gives them consolidated what consolidated salaries. Aye sincerely ng'omuntu obona nti alina okubaako nikalya kuba abandi batono kuki ku mirimu gyaibwe omuntu alina okola hours ediswikawo ayengezera kali kuiza yaki ya munwa. Nze ndikusaba nti City Council yandibaire ng'eringa ku mubasawo okuba nti bafunayo oba ka breakfast oba ka lunch.
Kale
yes
kale tweyanziza
then ekindi nkyerabye.
Okay kale kale tufune omwami oyo then tuyida kuje wa chairman.
Emusine Aziza. Once upon a time, by name was Mugesi Michael Kabaka, Mayor Chairman, LC1 is the best village, Kabaka. Mwebale ino. Ebyange sijja kuwandagana ebigambo bingi kubanga nikwogera on behalf of the community. Jinja City, our chief guest tonight. Tweyanziza omulimu kutukoledde Walukuba, Masese Division, Southern Division. One, bali kwogera ku luguudo lwa Parike Road. I'm the one taking that road in my village, Parike Road. But why the lights? I thank them, Jinja City. basooka batulumira olugwe baterako tamak, then they have come back batereko ki, and what's wrong with that one? Two, nebaza Jinja City for the work well done recently, but tukulimako Masisi Road, waluko Masisi Road, bagirukugirima bush clearing, they have done it a good job. That's why the communities are very happy. That please continue with the same spirit. Three, nebaza NB for the work they are doing in Masisi City School. Thank you very much for the work well done, because I'm always there. Two, nebaza a disabled lady was here. Thank you very much for the work you are doing in Waluko Masisi Primary School, for the work you are doing for disabled children. Wherever you know, wherever you are, sija kuandaga n'ebigambo bingi kubanga amanyi nti buli omu ayagala ki ayagala kwogera. That's my piece of what wants to pass through.
Kale chairman abadde
yebaza webale bane mikono giri kunsinga obungi nenze kuva ku side kuno nje ku side eyindi muzeyi bitambufunze dakika ndalo tusechi
asobona yanziza nze de yongera wili bacha pastor no C1 bususwa extremely Jinja City togere ku byemisolo wano n'inkamu ya city ayi tulina income ngaba bususwa tulinayo yetwatandika time back aye yabane byobufuzi bati amakubatikone officers aba Jinja City ekiro kyaffe kya bususwa falls mwakirekera busoko falls tutwidi tikiriwo atenga tuduka mu chiko try ni mayor and technical staff physical engineer they are there but tutwidi wachi tikitwizibwa ntufuna sente ningi mu kiro ekyo mwebale kumpoliza.
Thank you.
Webale ino bayenja kusongola kubanga idoni abaye ni mu Southern Division ni mwani makazindala ye
mami Mawanda eziraja ku makazindala
ninze Mawanda James banange ndi musanufu olwokutweta atenda kwongera kwebaza ino aye mpera nje ndi kwogera ku nti Jinja has become a city and is a city. Tutayinza okufuna jam twenda okufuna alternative road eva kurounda every yeno okujja kwibiri aho tulifuna obuzibu mutulowolezeo okucha musobola
okwo bulungi okuva side ki
okuva mu town kuba mpera regulo emoto okuva mu Jinja town okujja ku maile ibiri okutambula okutuuka ku luguudo olw'Iganga oba olujja Kamuli. Traffic jam omwaka oguyide emotoka diyinza n'okwesibira erala. We need that planning. Ensonga ey'okubiri ni traffic lights sebo nzemba ku ibiri wale ewange ne wali wase mukaya n'okuli International Health Science Institute of International Health Science kyokka jam kyokka obwire abo bakubira abo abapikipiiki nsaba mutuweeyo ku amataala oba asatu oba ana kubanga neija oluguudo. We are trying to put a development in that place but it can't come. People cannot come. I'm putting a hotel in that place aye wazirasobola kutambulira. Nsaba mutuwe ku bitaala bituuke ku SDA bijje mbaka tuli kyere bitambula awo tugamba tube ku light aye bali kuyitira awo abantu tusaba mutuyambe. Ensonga eyindi ninze nali chairman wa Uganda National Chamber of Commerce Jinja District. Ekibuga okubaawo kiteekwa okuba nga kiri connected to the business community and the business community we are struggling a lot to make Jinja become a developing town. Aye abasuubuzi tulina obuzibu tituzaale tububisa ebizibu byonna byatubaako batusibawo bakola batya nga tuzabe tuyinza ku expressinga our feelings. Saba Trade Development Office etuyambe ebeewo Chamber of Commerce tusobole okubona nga abasuubuzi balina eddoboozi. Ensonga eyindi nenda kwebaza banange Jinja Municipal Council ndibebaza mwebali ku employing abaana bawala Jinja City okay mwebali ku employing abaana bawala kubanga mpenano nali ntanze n'okulekera abaana bawala ayo beemereire twabaire mu Southern Division nimba ni wano town clerk asebo mwebali omulimu ogwo. Ensonga eyindi ya tamak eyoka bajogeire kanjireke mwebale ino mwebale
tweyanziza mwami Mawanda.
N'ekindi osobola okuwandiika tuyinza obutasobola kwakazindalo buli omu ali kenda ayo osobola okuwandiika.
Mwami Levi tuvire erala wano uwo mwami oyo n'omukyalo ole then twire side ere.
Neyanziza ssebo wensobolera ofuna omukisa guno. Amaina gange ninze Mutebe Robert, chairman wa Kyomya Central City yekomeeyo. Ntuuse wano naidukiranga abagiranga engero nti alina alyongerwako etuukirira. Tulina n'oluguudo Mutayi Buyala. Oluguudo olwo tuluwuliranga mu ngambo nti niita endala yaweebwa. Mu priorities edikobeibwawo tiruwulire nakku luziramu. Ekyokubiri n'akatale ak'ebudondo. Akatale ako kakoze kinene ino. Abakazi bakeeraawo saawa 10. Aye kuzira waire security light wazira bakuumi ninze nkakoleramu. Aye saawa 2 tuba tukavuiremu. Banange budondo nga ifo budondo twatolebwa bweyo twasuulibwa eno tulivaayo oli.
Kale tweyanziza w'omukyalo ole ali mu white ole.
Neyanziza zena ntwala okwebaza omukisa guno. Ensonga zena gyebeire eri kunuma babange gyava okwogera kuba zena nva budondo.
Buti yajogereku oyina
aye nina eyindi mukama wange. Akatale akamba kooti kona ketoire mutawuni ate nga nawe round about etwala mutawuni. Aye kona weninga ku budget yaimwe kaziraku. N'oluguudo lwaife bana twena mutufeeku ng'abe budondo mutukola munifa bava ebigere gyebiteekebwa. Aye mutufeeku kuba tunene ino ba division mayors ni kansala waife tweyanziza.
Kale Amber Court tukiwulira. So now okay maliza noyo twire side eno kubanga we need to balance.
Neyanziza Tenywa David zena nsibuka budondo. Ensonga enemereize erindala. Mwogeire ku site ne budondo mwagigaita ku site. Aye ebimu ebikola site amataala kikulu. Amasanalaze ag'ebudondo nenda kubuuza buzibu bwavaawa. Mwatu wa twinkle light gakola gati gavaako. Gamalena ku 3 gaziraku gabaako edakiika 6. Weebuuza ife ekizibu ky'amasanalaze ebudondo kizibu ki? Abandi batukoba nti batuta ku line ya Kamuli. Bw'otuuka emafubira gabaawo, bw'otuuka enamulesa gabaawo, paati da budondo nediziraku bwe mbabaako tugaita ku site. Pulaani eyonze awo tibwainewo ku masanalaze ago oba ensonga tidituukanga nze njituusiisa. Mutuwa amasanalaze twena tuli mu site tulina diikuuka tulina buli ekyategesa amasanalaze tulina n'eddwaliro eriri mu theatre.
Kale ensonga y'amasanyalaze etuse
tugiwulire era
katwire buti side eno.
Tudagyongerayo.
Omwami oyo n'omukyalo oyo twire. Ensonga y'amasanyalaze tugifunye bulungi ino.
Neyanziza njabita mu bufunze nze amaina gange nize Weddeke Fatuhu nga ndi mu member mu CDF. Endo ebiduo byange biri wano wamanga nti byona betwogereku nze nkalibo nayo ku muntu ayogera ku bantu abantu abasula mu migoiteko. Abantu bali eyo nze nkidinga mu kibuga Mbata mu Soweto bazira ngudo bazira toyi bazira masomero TD abo bambalowooza kuki mbasubira okubanga ekintu ng'ekyo nga mukigemaku kisobola okubanga kitambula maiso ekyo kijaba physical planner niba n'abandi abaji mu department. N'ekindi kyene nti abavubuka abo ba youth abali mu ebyo ebitundu babeeta ba youth poor bandi bali dropouts kuva mu masomero. So TD mba planning gireki betaga trainings okwega ati ebintu oba bemikono basobola okubanga ba developing talent zaibwe ni skills zaibwe tidio ba muli balowooza kuki tikiweineku tikiwulireku wantu wona wona so nga abavubuka mutulowoozeeku tubayeeyo mu migoiteko nga twetaaga okola ki okutugemaku n'ekindi nti tulina obukolero bwaife buno obutonotono mutwerabiire muli eyo mwalowooza nti ife tutuli bantu tuliyo tukole obuntu byaife sabuuni biki aye mwatwerabira nti twendaga obuyambi okutugemaku tufuna ebintu ebituzimba nebitukulaakulanya akatale kaife nifo twemereza ekonomi ya Uganda aye otuweyo nitukola ebintu byaife timuli kuvaayo nimutukola ki nimutugemeraku n'ensonga ya security gyensembyayo nti ebitundu ebisinga bali kuba abantu bazira lights mwakolanga batangawo ku patrol tidio badajaawo ati tukadibona tidikakolera ku irala liti nti abantu mutambule eyo ngayo muli kubunkenke bali kukuba abantu so mbasuubira okuba nga n'ekyo kintu mukigemaku neyanziiza mwebale kutegeka mukolo guno
kale omukyalo oyo then we cross the other side
neyanziiza ssebo omwogezi olo protocol amayina neiroboozi bwa mikijoyi nayigaga okuva ekivubuka ebidondo nze konsaani yange nsooka okwebaza omukyala plana mukyala Kayongo Christine olw'okutuwisaamu akana gansi twena n'atwaniriza nga aba clubs abalina amakolero amatono getukola ki getukola kati ensonga yange erikoba nti abakyala bangi tukoze obwegayisi twalumukira mu malooni twajja mu office da CDO twewandiisa aye nga tituli kuyambibwa bulungi mukyala Christine yatukobye tuleeta ebintu byaife tulage nti eyo wansi twena tulina byetukola ki byetukola nenda okwebaza organizers kubanga mpulire wano Enabel ng'erikoba nti egabanibwa grant obutono eri abeegayisi bababa tusaba mutuyambe tuli bubi abakyala bali kuwandiikibwa ku mayumba quick bank property for sale lwa school fees d'abaana ensonga ey'okubiri nze ndi wanoovu mukyala Kayongo mbaire ndi kwebaza olw'okutwaniriza ensonga ey'okubiri nze ndi part of mental problem aye nga ndi musomesa maama mpulire aye gundi yange konsaani yange erikoba nti Kyomya primary school eriyo at least part yaki y'abaana abo abalina disability aye waliwo amasomero nga galimu abaana abo nga tibali kusobola kuba handled properly nsaba ensonga eyo tugiteekweyisira ekisembayo kiri kujja eri bwana CDO city CDO and the district CDO nti mutuyambe ebibiina eby'obwegayisi tujja twawandiisa ebibiina byabitaku emyaka nga wazira kibiina kikoze eki kikoleibwaku kiyambibwaku mu ngeri ey'endawulo webabaawo NGO ebangaidye okuba nti eri kuyamba yakanti tuli kwenda certified wati certificate wabaawo okulamentinga okw'amaanyi nti ate kayi tulina okuwona mu stamp okuva ekibiina wekyakola ki wekyatandikira mwebale ino mwebalire irala
kale jja omwami wali muyeraawo then twire wane wa Haji Abubeka then twire wale Brown then
neyanziza buli omu mu kitiibwa kyetidda kujja mu bingi amayina gange ninza kudaaga Moses Chairperson wa Nyamakatamba ekibuuzo kyange kiri kujja ki yesitekiraka oba ne wa environment akobyeku nti baagaba sirinda 10 sebo tibaagaba baatunda esirinda 10 aye babwerere tukobere nti babwerere tibaagaba baatunda department ya environment emitwalo 10
kale baida akwiramu protocol observed ninze Maganda Abubeka ensonga yange ejja ku primary and secondary drainage ekibuga kino bakitekera drainage mu kusooka nga kitandika drainage endala edo ne dikaliwo saawa eno
tuli kubona nteekateeka ya kudigaziya oba ku districting amaadi we gagwa tufuna ebitaba bingi wagati wa Lidina village ni Rubas Road ni Main Street ensonga emugirowoozeeko. Ensonga ey'okubiri bwe twali kuwano ng'abakulembeze before twali ni standard y'amayumba by then yali na Jinja Municipal Council agasaana okuba mu site. Ayi saawa eno site eri ku approvinga obuddo okuba mu site wagati. Ojja kugabula road oyagana ku obuyumba obuli oti buddo obuba province we bali kuzimbako. Ojja kugokale n'ekirala ekyo. Webanga byakyuka mu twendo olukikono lutukobere. Enenda n'okusupplementinga ku kya matako gata ku ebyapa amasomero wali bakyogeireko. Land si government institution. Jinja State Council yona government. Obuzibu obw'okuta ku mataka emyaka egiweza abiri nga twemba kintu kirala ekyo. Enkolagane eyezirawo wagati wa Land si Jinja State Council okuta ku titles ku masomero gaife. Twatuuka n'okufirwa projects ed'amaanyi olw'okuba amasomero gaife gazira ku titles. Twawa n'omukisa niba anasigwanizi baatuuka okuyiba amataka ago. Ekyo ekintu nanda tukiteemu obwangu kisobola okuwa kuba kiri tukosa nga site. Nsembyayo kwebaza nze nesimbyeyo okuba meya bwa 1000 division. Ndidye wano okufollowing ebiri kujja mu maiso ndeme kwidana okubasumbuwa na kwidana manifesto yange ate nga imwe nteekateeka dda imwe dikola ki diriwo. Kale abataka nze ntegeere bano bye bapulaani nze muningemu bwe ndidde okwidda wano ndabita bwamunkola.
Akalango ko kabise. So katuje wa chairman Brown
ne yanziza ebibuzo byange bere binjaye batulobeire okwira mu bibogeire bikendeire ino ekisooka kyali ato ekisima. Yesterday Southern Division yabaye nakyo ni city nkiwulire nani ajogula eryato Southern Division Jinja City ekyo nkivuireku tulietaaga ayina okutegeera ajo okuligula. Ekyokubiri kijja wa meya Kasolo tukweyanza olw'okutuleetera roundabout n'ogimodifying nga bwefaanana ne MTN nga bwekozi. Ife abanayidinda twakulira ku biyiriro twamanyira gayiriro ganene aye tusaba ekiba kisoboka pipe sede de batamu bakyuseeku direeta obuddi butono ino direete falls dend benga diyikadit not kutiiriisa otiiriise mwebale. Ekindi ekisembayo absentism absentism eyogeirwaku ayinza kwogera kusinga ino ku bya feeding Madam Mutesi.
Absentism kubasawo kubasomesa
kubasawo nakyayindowooza bakyogeire kuba nange tibakyogere. Yes
kubasawo
ndakwogera kuliisa abaana mu masomero feeding. Twenda okweyanza okulonda amasomero ago nga pilot project Victoria ni Magwa. Ayina amasomero agandi twenda mulinge mwemera abaana gye bali ogeire ku bya nutrition. Webuze abaana bakulu alaina alusazi bakuku bano baboneka batampanado mu bidandali. So tuli kukusaba ogemagane n'abasawo mujenga mugwa bugwe lunaku mwasena ku bidandali byajja mu laabu mwakebera mwabona babiri mu panado abaana ba P2P wati balwala alusazi waliwo kozi wevwa ayenga amasomero tubasaba mutuyambe ku nsonga eyo. Ekisembere yala kya kwebaza bajese enebo olw'okutuzimbira ewalukuba seed school masi seed school nzenva ewalukuba mwebale eno kyemuli tukolerayo development gyemutere yayi kubya science hub okugiyita ku Jinja college. Ekintu ekyo mwabona omugayiga kayiga mwayongera hub yujja okutwala oba masomero seed school St. Stephen Budondo. Tubasaba next time Belgian government ni government ya Uganda aga amasomero agabazaire abeesobola nga Jinja college mwenga kugala amasomero agaba St. Stephen Walukuba seed school n'agandi mwebale
kale tweyanziza. Jewo omukyala ole kale weerera Majidu wa Majidu atuveo
niyanziza ino amayi nange mugawulire nsere ku Majidu ekyange kya Walukuba Masese Road ndi kubuuza funding agency ey'oluguudo eyo kwambaire ndowooza nti idabonekera mu UCHMID. Tutandise 2025-26 ebulako emyezi 8 okuwala okwo kujja komaawo oba mujja kwengeginga contractor.
kale but tujewo omukyala ali mu Gomesi walere tujja kuyida inuma
neyanziza ino banange batise banange amayina gange ninze babine Joyce Nseko okuva ebufuula ndi wabakyala ebudondo mu budondo tyali streak aye naku ya budondo kuba nze niwe ensula wazira muti gwa amasanalaze aye nga ndi musite titwenda kwiragana mu bye bakobi aye kinumye ine era kyangemaku ife obanga tituli musite batukutuleku
bit wano
bane neyanziza nnyo bakulu bannange
tuwulirize kwe
mu 2011 City Council yatunda broker 11 mu kyakifere wali kubeeyo netunda broker namba temuli na luguudo na lumu paka kati nakawandikira mu budget conference emirundi 14 nakati mugulanga nguudo National Water yajja ngeyaga kusaamu main swines temuli nguudo mutusaasire abantu bajja kuzimba mu nguudo ezo and you don't blame me. Ekyokubiri Jinja City Council mugaba permit omuntu okuzimba perimeter omuntu yazimba mu kyalo kyange perimeter wa Luzungu namugambye nti please zimba olekewa amazzi gagenda yanga nti tewali teeka limugamba kuleka mu ploti ye mazzi weganayita agali waggulu banne gye bali kati nyumba z'abantu zonna zijjudde mazzi yangambye sirina teeka limwogerako sebo tawunikira akawa wano bayaluwa nkusaba ngambire ku dokita yasoba Luzungu sirumanyi musajja yogera Luzungu lwerere sirutegeera report 8 kitamirike close abantu amayumba g'abantu gagenda kugwamu mwe bali kumpuliriza
kale plot 8 kitamirike road kale woyo
niyanziza ino sebo mutesesi nze amayina gange ninze Ruba David Hannington chairperson wa Lubaga Ward
abali ino matuwulirize kuba mwena mujja kwogera
nakatuka yenine ensonga sebo mukama wange kyendi kwogera ku kya waste management sebo tuli kusaba ebikaba mu bitekwine isira enguudo dona didwire bikaba oba abasoloza ebikaba n'abazira maani ensonga emugitwale nga nsonga nkulu tulida kutandika okulwala kabiri endwaire eritali nnambulukufu ensonga ey'okubiri ndi kusaba mwami Kasolo wabanga yatandika ekyokwasa ku highways amataala gaiguke paka kwamba kooti ekintu ekyo bakitwale ni wano okuva ku police roundabout amataala ago gatuuke kwamba kooti roundabout tumanye nti olwoluguudo lwona luli safe tukwebaza ku ekyo kyewakola ayi malayo then n'ebitundu byaife ebya Lubaga byona muvamu akasente kangi mu Gaddafi ni mu police bwe tuba tugira okubanda tutolera era akasente ndi kusaba mutuyambe mu stepping up the street lighting on all streets mwebale
kale tweyanziza ekintu kya street lighting ezira mutakira kubanga abantu bakyogeyireku and it's a general concern. We've taken note.
All protocols observed. Amena gange nize na Mwanja Goreti, former female representative wa Bukabali Kobole mu Jinja City, the delegate wa National Youth Parliament mu Uganda, ate n'aba thematic lead for democracy and human rights mu European Union Youth Advisory Board mu Uganda. Bavubuka banange bali kubuuza. I'm not asking a question, but I'm just responding. I am having a psychosocial disability. But okutuuka wendi, because I'm even an executive director of an organization, Commonwealth, I sit on the executive board. Okutuuka wendi, it has been the city. Tibaba somesa, nze bazere banga basomesa paka senior 4. Nabona tikisoboke. Nakola ekitongole kya Triumph emishalago muli okubona kati naida wide ku city natuukirira Mr. Muzusa ni Madam Angela senior CDOs bantu wala ku isomero lyabali ku obulemu nasoma fashion and design tyakomaawo nasoma ICT tyakomaawo najoininga Commonwealth nasoma ko sedenda uli mu leadership n'okutuuka ni mu parliament so tinti batuleke inyuma ife bene nifo tulina okweyogererawo twatuuka ku city nize ndi mwana wa Budondo nkulire mu nfuufu Buwenda ndi weeyo aye even vulnerable people city etuyambe yatutola wansi tinti bo nga bali ku ntebe wangulu bafa only for their families and their friends, but even us from vulnerable backgrounds and vulnerable communities. Thank you very much.
Twayanziza that testimony.
Mwami muzusa bakuwe ekyokunwa ekinogoga.
Bamuwe. Thank you for the testimony.
Basibuli banyabo nze chairman local village. Isimanyo meeting eno okubeerawo. Ekitundu kyange kirimu abasuubuzi ab'ebyennyanja eri emyalo esatu. Local landing site, marine ne Ripon. Abasuubuzi ababeerayo babeera bakyala n'abaami abagula byennyanja kiro n'emisana. Naye babanyaga misana nga buli omu alaba kubanga teri police post yabeerangayo. Ne babanyaga n'ekiro kyonna. N'olwekyo nsaba mukomyewo police post awali Gomba junction. Ne ku luguudo olugenda ku Ripon landing site. Kubanga banyaga abantu nga buli omu alaba. Babuukira n'emmotoka misana era ne banyaga. Ekyokubiri, enguudo ezo saawa eno bw'ogendayo ziri flooded. Obw'ova ku Wax n'okkirira paka ku Nyanza marine landing site, paka ku Skyfart, paka ku ssomero lya Uganda Railway Primary liri flooded. Karabaati ezaaleetebwa zaali 8 ezaggyibwawo. Saategeera ndowooza malayika yamanyi ezagenda. N'olwekyo nsaba oluguudo lwa business muzeko Karabaati si mulukole kolasi nyobe zaali edda ku plan ya Jinja City ye yali municipality. Enguudo zibereko kolasi kubanga za business. Ate abaana balime kutambulira mu ntobazi paka ku ssomero kubanga eri City Secondary School tulanyini nebeerayo yesinga obunene mu Busoga region. Nebeerayo nursery schools ku Uganda Railway Primary. Nebeerayo zi factory. Nebeerayo ba business abagula ebyennyanja ne baleetayo n'amaliba. Bonna batambulira mu ntobazi. N'olwekyo mbasaba mukole ku kintu ekyo mu bwangu abantu bali bubi.
Tweyanziza chairman.
Engineer ekyo kiwulire mu bakozi bolina mu niba malayika abazawo.
Je inuma kuba abe inuma abo bendi kwenda
niyanziza amayina gange nize Mpera Asuman ndi omu ku ba stakeholder aba Jinja City. Ndi mu kitongole kya lole and pickups. Madam Pulana ndi kusaba oplaningire lole kubanga tusasula omusolo tusasula $7,000,000 n'okusingawo oku. Aye twali bairenga tusasula sente ediswikawo oku kubanga singa tuli baplaningire aye timu tuplaningire nti erole paaka ebagano aye ate ku musolo mugwenda. So mbaire nsaba tubeeralala tusobola okukola ki planingira lole evumu omusolo omulungi ogunaakulankulanya ekibuga. Ensonga ey'okubiri tutole politics mu nkulankulana kubanga imwe ba technical people mujja mwalekera ba politicians singa baba baliwo ekintu ekyokukulankulana. Ba politicians mwabakoba nti abo bantu baimwe bwe mwalonda n'abali kubagoba ku street. Aye nga nimwe omwa planinga okugoba abantu kuki ku street. Akalulu k'aba politician kafa twafiirwa abakulembeze. Aye nga imwe nimwe omwakola ekyo ate kayimwe abasamba mwabayiza kumbali. Ensonga esembayo n'ensonga ya PDM program ya government ate nimwe government. Nsaba tutuuse iroboozi lino abantu ba City babongere ku sente kubanga City eba n'abantu bangi. Aye bw'olingirira $1,010,000 ku muluka gwa City abeetaavu bangi. Idukira ekyalo kibaaku n'abantu batontono olwisi. Aye tawuni abantu mulimu abapangisa bangi mulimu so nsaba nti plana taye iroboozi bongere sente da PDM abantu bafune sente. Mwebale ino mwebale.
Neyanziza sebo amanya Muhigana Geoffrey vice chairperson w'abasuubuzi abasuubula ebisolo mu Jinja City awamu ne butcher zonna mu Jinja. nja kwebaza gavumenti ya muzeeyi byetukoledde mwebale nnyo. Ensonga ey'okubiri nja kwebaza Meeya Kasolo, amazima gali nti gavumenti ya muzeeyi togikubye ogikoleddemu ebirungi wano mu Jinja City. Ekyo nkikwebaliza, toli mwenaaye naye okoze byeteekeddwa okuba nti ekoze, era nkusaba wali wano bwaba balina ebirowoozo ebirungi abikongere. Amen. Ensonga sebo mukama wange nze nina ekizibu kimu, mwasomye budget mu luzungu ate simanyi luzungu, ennamba esinga wano twasoma dda, mufunenga obudde bw'okutuvunulira nga musoma budget tusobole okutambula wamu nammwe, muteekamu oluzungu lungi ne tubula. Abakitegedde mukikubire mu ngalo. Ensonga ey'okubiri ssebo gye njogerako, nja kwebaza nti emba muzisse naye mu kibuga City n'ezikyalimu mutwongere obutwatutte embwa. Ente zo zakendeera teziriyo ne Masese eyo, teziriyo zavaayo, era temuzoogerako Masese tewakyaliyo nte. Basebo ne banyabo nja kwongera okwebaza ne sokwebaza yenna abantu abaaze olunaku olwaleero, kubanga mutukoze bulungi. Ababadde eri Mase ne mujja eno naye neesaba ne bachairman abaliko muveeko kujjeko abalala abato. Mwebale nnyo, mwebale ddala.
Kale tweyanziza.
Yes.
Kale.
Neyanziza ino omukulu. Protocol observed. Ambaina n'eroboozi bali kitenda Fred Moses.
Mwami Busuulwa, Chairman Busuulwa tuula.
Ensonga esooka nja kusooka n'ensonga ya security. Ndi musuubuze mu kibuga wano, aye security etulemerera eno okusinziira ku bavubuka bano abatunda endaga amafuta mu katale ka Napier, kuba bagifuulira irala center ya bizinensi eyo openire. Misana endaga eriwo, amafuta galiwo mu katale ka Napier, bawamba ekitundu kirambe ezirasaalimbirawo n'abapoliisi nsubira batyawo. Kale kanso nsaba mutuyambe.
Kale ekindi
ensonga ey'okubiri n'eirwaliro lyaife n'erya Jinja Central, bana abasawo bali bubi, tuyikirize tutuba tulobe, tibalya wazira masanalaze, enzikize eriwo mbitirivu. Ensonga ey'okusatu n'oluguudo lwange olw'Oboja, kuba nsula ku Oboja. Aye bana oluguudo olwo n'olusinga kunjiza sente mu City wano, aye bw'olingirira embeera yaabo mbi ino. Then ensonga esembayo, ife abalina restaurants bana oba business edini dijja kutulema lwa nsonga ndala, tusasula emisolo mingi, aye wayagaana nti bu business bw'abantu bungi buli kumalukawo baidaba batasasula waire musolo. Wayagaana ng'olaaka era bukere yafumba yavaawo na sente, abantu abandidde mu restaurant tebasobola kukola ki kuyidayo. Then waliwo ensonga ya Lubaga. Lubaga erina ekizibu kya toilet nga abasuubuze mu katale. Amazima galiwo nti Lubaga tuzira toilet mu katale. Then abali kuzimba Mr. Town Clerk, abali kuzimba mu Lubaga kalinazi bablokinga bali kuzimba ku sewage. Era bw'oyenda okujyayo okobuzaavinga waliwo n'ekizimbe ekiri kusituka, aye yazimba nga sewage eri munda wa kizimbe, ekitegeeza nti wagati awo suppose okubaawo olukuubo, era niwabaawo ng'aliwo ekisibo ekidde ku kalinazi edo, wazira muntu oba fire brigade wesobola kuyita oba nga egemye omuliro okuzikiza. Ensonga eyo esayine mugiringemu.
Kale webale ino obubaka obwo, so tutambulire wano tuti then twire eno tumalirize.
Saba omutesitese neyanziza amaina Kagende Timothy okuva e Rwanda tenganiza chairperson. My concern is owanema oba environment mujogeireku aye kyewunisa nga environment egema ku mwavu aye omugayiga temugemaku kubanga ebibali bilikuwaawo okuzimbibwamu petrol station factories aye omwota mukume gyositamyemu akayumbako amateeka gajja kuvaayo aye bali tigabagema. Ensonga ndala, ensonga eyokubiri engineer wa Jinja City nze wenakulira nga balina enguudo balitaku enkonko etitwala amaadi ago oluguudo olwo lwasigala nga lukaliramu. Example eri ku luguudo lwe Rwanda Isukwe na Wangoma, oluguudo oluyaka ino baali bakayulima batukoba nti tuluweeye tujja kuita tumalirize tuteekwa ebiri kwetaagisa. waliwo awalakinga ebigoma, waliwo awalakinga okutaaku emyete egyo ayi bitumbera oluguudo lufiire ngaisendodde muna Uganda dakalutya dononeike. Ensonga eyindi meya wa Jinja City nowa Northern Division tutandise okufuna ekizibu Rwanda Nakabango batandise okuda otuyizira ebikaba titidiowabakoba ati Rwanda n'Isukwe neri emibanda ebinene mutwalire abeeyo. So ekyo ekizibu tutandise okola ki okukifuna. Ensonga nindikiriza enkomaawo oyogere sebo oyogere ku laiti sebo ensonga ya laiti sibu omuntu ajajogerako olw'ensonga kuba betwogera bano basupervise bategeera ebitundu ebiri obubi kuki ku security. Sebo meya awamu ne wa Northern Division okuva e Nakabango okutuuka e Rwanda eyo eri danger zone. Abantu bangi abali obulamu bwaibwe buweirewo mu kifo ekyo okuva upgrade paka e Rwanda ku church ya St. John Catholic.
Kale webale waira kwawo n'omukyalo oyo tutambule tutyo pakeri.
Sebo neyanziza olw'okulokola obwire senenda kwogera ku nsonga ndala kubanga yekuli muganda nga ajogereyo enjira. Ninze Divuge Badiru okuva Isukwe muluko gwe namulesa nze chairman wa NR mu muluko ogwo. Baba town clerk TD oba tuli mu city oba tuli mu kyalo. Amaadi twasika amaadi twasigaza bimuli maka gino emyaka 3 titufuna ki maadi aye nga buli saaga baida babasindikira nti twenda sendedit tidde batuli mu city batukali mu Mafia sub county. Wokubira engineer water engineer wena mulesa akoba ati kubira city engineer wasigala ng'oli awo bw'okuba Kampala bakoba ati kubira yoga ni city engineer mutuyambe batu batuzala kuba kutuwanirira balega tuli Mafia sub county neyanziza.
Neyanziza sebo amaina n'eroboozi ndi Kalungi Fatuma okuva Isukwe. Obuzibu bwaife ebindi babyogeire kwayi obuzibu bwaife bwa masanyalaze. Wainuma wale batusulirako emiti gimaze emyaka 20. Tugezizaako okutaya amabaluwa gaife agasaba amasanyalaze tujja ayi na lwalero no tibatufaako ayi nga tuli mu Jinja City.
Gwodirira asembayo
ekale amanya Nyanzi Abdul omutaka Mwalukuba housing estate yajiyingira mu mwaka gw'71 mu biseera ebyo estate yali ebalibwanga estate esingayo okuba ennungi mu East Africa olw'obuyonjo ne environment yalimu. Mwalimu emiti emirungi abakulembeze abajja ne bagyegabanya ne bagitema estate nesigala nga nkalu. Ku ssaawa eno bw'oyagala okusimba omuti mu estate embuzi tezirina akazi azivunaana. Kaakati ne bwe twagala okulongoosa tuzze embeera eya environment ennungi mu estate ekyo ky'embuzi bakalima bange nga temukikozeeko tetujja kulongoosa.
Ekiddako mwami Nyanzi.
Ekiddako ekiseera kyatuuka kanso nekkiriza etunda amayumba nga tekyasobola gaddaabiriza. Abantu batandika okuddaabiriza naye tuli mu mayumba agazimbibwa ne asbestos twategeezebwa nti asbestos ereeta kansa gyakoma okukula gyakoma okuleeta obulwadde kanso ngisaba erobinge tugyeyambise erobinge wadde nga amayumba twagagula tufune ebitongole ebyebweru bijje bituyambe okulongoosa amayumba ago okukyusa asbestos
kale ensonga eyo
ekirala ekisembayo omwala ogwawula walukuba east ne walukuba west bwe guba gutuuka ku luguudo lwe bayita Masese road guweebwa omukutu mutono nnyo ku face wall ya MMI bwe kiba kisoboka mudaivatinga ekkubo ly'amazzi kubanga mwateekamu emitayimbwa kati ebikyafu ebibijja ne bizibikira naye obunaaba mukoze oluguudo emirundi 10 nga ekituli ekyo ekifulumya amazzi agatwala mu kitoogo nga kikyali bwe kityo
kale
tetulina bulungi bwe tujja kukolera luguudo olwo
kale kanfune omukyala asembayo waliwo omukyala awo Levi, just give the lady that should be the last person.
Finally. Good afternoon. Bana tuikaikani. Balamusiza basewo ne bannyabo. Nze wamu n'omu ku bannange wano emabega yaŋŋambye enguudo tekuliiko balema bye basobola kuyitira bulungi olaba n'atambuza ebigere basobola omukoona. Then ne mu public toilets mu city ya Jinja namwo abalema they are not catered for. Then nze ensonga yange enkulu I want to implore the enable and the finance department in relation to the news that came earlier this week nti government egenda kulekeraawo okurecruiting aba certificate holders. I implore you that if possible you help facilitate and sustain people interested in furthering their studies. Kubanga kiruma nnyo okujjanga mu lukuŋŋaana nga luneeno novaawo nga abogedde oluzungu tobategedde ate naye bye wali yagadde okwanjula maybe you've not got a platform to talk about it. I kindly implore you people that if the government is no longer recruiting those people, it is going to trickle down to the private sector. Kituuka okuba nti ba certificate holders they can no longer be employed. Omukyala oli ayogedde ow'amasomero n'agamba nti training aba nursery but she has very many certificates seated at her table. Meaning waliwo abali mu field nga ne certificate gy'alina tagikozesa naye ate kigenda tuka ekiseera nga nayo yadde agiina tegenda kumugasa. Bambi mbegayiridde look into that issue so that we help our city okuva erumu we come up to speed with the whole nation. Thank you very much.
Kale katukomaawo bw'oba osobola okukiwandiika ekibuuzo kiwandiika okindeetere kubanga ebibuuzo mbirina wano bingi njabiweereza secretariat yaife nenda okubeebaza ensonga yo ki ya Masese. What is the problem with Masese? Okay, kabakuwuliriza Masese ki be yogera Kale ensonga yetuuse bulungi eye Masese era oli mutuufu ino ku nsonga eyo webali kujogeraku. Kale katukomaawo owe Masese mba erina omuwa omukono kubanga ensonga ebaire enkulu ino. Kale webali kutuusa message eye Masese. Kale basebo ni banyabo amutyame tyama buti ninzaali kubiriza olukiiko obaire kiye. Tyama. Kale ekyemisana kyaife kiri ready liri saawa 10 mu kaseera kano mundikirize ebibuuzo byemubuuziza ni issues demuraisinze ni comments compliments byona birungi ino era tubitwala mu mutima mulungi. Ba heads of department abali wano babiwulire, ba town clerks abali wano babiwulire kubanga tulina aba town clerks bona baliwo, okitibwa mayor aliwo, office ya RCC eriwo, twena ababikolaku ebisinga byemuraisinze tuliwo. Mungane ndete mayor kubanga mayor naatutwala aida kubaku n'ebitono byajo okonaku ayendidi nti ajja kuwa directive thereafter, then aida twetera RCC yena abeku ebya security byayogeraku, then ebisigaire tuidabe gemaku mu ngeri yaife. Era nsuubira nti mayor aida kutaawo platform mu ngeri ye tubenga tubawa feedback ku nsonga demuraisinze. So mukaseera kano mungane ndete his worship the mayor Jinja City omwami Okocha Peter aide abalamuseeku nenda okusiima abawandiise nja kubita wano mu secretariat.
Thank you very much. Banange tusangaire mwebale kwida kuwa yako ninze mwebale okumeeyo sebo bwana RCC town clerk n'abataka twena nsangaire okubabona olunaku luno lukulu ino ku nsonga daife ekibuga eky'Idinda. I am sure nti kino olusoose dibere dibaawo but okuva inuma eyo twali mu bugayaavu ng'abantu nga tulowooza nti Kasola ajja kumala byona Kasola mugezi aye tino omugezi asingayo. Kasola azaalibwa bantu bano abanaidinda kuba muri omu muno ndowooza ninze omu ku bantu abasinga obuto. Tuwulirize bulungi by the way. Aye mu buto bwange mweyimba kitole mwangemesa obuvunaanizibwa obunene. Kyobona nti nakobye town clerk oba ndidda nga mukoba mu kiseera kino kyembairewo nti twetenga abantu tubawulirize batugalage ku ngeri etya bwe tusobola okutambuzaamu ki ekibuga. Oidye enkulankulanudde tubona mu bibuga muno ku mulembe guno muli kumpaana ino nti Kasolo alina byakozeeku tiidi oba ndina byenkozeeku lwa nsonga nti mpuliriza ino abantu bye beetaaga tukole ki tukole. Kuba nze bwe mba niba n'abantu bange bano nga bw'oli kubabona bantya ine eza kintu kye basinga kutya ku kizimbe kuno omuntu gwe basinga okutya gano ninze. Ku kizimbe wano omuntu gwe basinga okutya n'okuwa ekitiibwa ninze. Oyidde lwaki? Nti abangi balondayo omuntu oyo kasolo bakuba ati naaba abeeki bano bamulikuulira ndikuulira mulikubibazangako dimbu bakabandi batawunikira akabandi banezira kye bakola nga tebali kukikolera nze. Ekitegeeza byona byona byomuli kwogera ebyokodi biki nze ntowa order babikole ku lw'abantu imwe. The reason to why Christine, the reason to why town clerk, engineer, education officer, system health officer, mulikuba butisade tulikuwulira nga tubafiiringa lwa biragiro bye n'abawa nti ndikwenda abantu bakole ki batufiiringe. Tusobola okuba nga tukaali kumalayo byona byona kuba mpulire mukwana amaloboozi agabaire amakambwe. Amaloboozi ago nsabusaba nti tugayikaikani twafuna meeyo omutuufu aidi abantu bebenda. Nze bwe naida ku kizimbe wano nakuba nti tijja akola bantu bebenda, tijja kwogera abantu bebenda kuwulira, tijja akola abantu bibasuubira nti bandibaire, nja akola bituufu. Oli kumpulira? Mu kwidda wano naidda nze ndi musaada wa opposition. Bwe natuuka nayagaana mu kisimbe muno ndowooza aba NRM muwanike ku emikono tubone. Nsaba muwanike ku aba NRM. Kimaze okweraga nti n'abasinga mu ki obungi. Bwe kibanga aba NRM n'abasinga mu obungi kitegeeza nti n'abasinga okunonda. Muli kuntegeera? Mbagano singa ntuwa ku kizimbe wano nakola ebyobupisapisa obubi obw'ebyobufuzi ng'oiri development gyatubona mu tawuni muno ng'oli ekola ki ezirawo. Nze oyo RCC mukwano gwange nnyo olw'ensonga RCC ekibuga ekyo ntiri mwami ani mwami Gulume. Ekisooka busookera taata wange Mwise Kaima baba wange. Ekyokubiri musaadda mukulu. Ekyokusatu ni RCC wa Jinja City. Nze ndiki ndi meya. Ayi batutamagana naye mba amala manda. Oli kuntegeera? Ndina ba kansala bange muno. Nze nayidirana ku tiketi ya Nuupu. Bwe natuuka ku siteholo wano nayaga